Hello, once again. It is the Beanie Boys back at it again. It's me, Manny, and he's Shorsh, and we are Beanie Boys who banter about brutal bops.
Brutal bops.
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Yeah, I'd say I'm doing well. Obviously not much fucking going on right now.
Well, it's
But we
Easter
have got
Sunday.
this. Oh yeah, happy Easter to all of those who watch it on the Easter Sunday. Even though you probably won't, because this won't probably be uploaded till quite a bit later.
Yeah, but happy Zombie Jew Day. All the same. Like big up. I hope the
Happy
chocky eggs are all
Zombie
good.
Jew Day. That's excellent. Happy Zombie Jew Day.
I stole
And
it from
also,
something.
don't eat too much chocolate to the point where you're sick. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Actually, that was a horrible idea. Yeah, no, don't do that.
I've ruined a couple of Easters when I was a kid by doing exactly that and just fucking.
Yeah, I had a friend who fucking like ate so much she started puking on Easter. And I was like, sick.
Nice. Well, like it's meant to be a day for resurrection, but for him it's a day for regurgitation. Hey, nice.
Yeah, now you got me fucking thinking of regurgitation music, and that's not what I need to be thinking about right now.
It isn't, because on the Bean Cells podcast today we have a first. We have our very first album review, which I mean I'm psyched. We're reviewing the debut LP from the most hyped band in death metal right now. I think that's fair to say. Bless you. Sanguisugabogg, the Sandy Sugar Booger, the Bogg Bois.
Yeah.
The fucking the Dons of Dick.
The dons who eat their own cum.
Absolutely.
The ones who have brung back death metal to where it once was, of being just juvenile, sophomoric, moronic, dumb shit that's just funny, like almost in a skinless style fashion,
but even more like
and slightly more homoerotic, I believe, as well.
Not slightly more homoerotic, entirely more homoerotic. Like, I don't think any of
the videos, you know what we're on about, especially the videos.
They're all about dicks. If you know anything about Sanguisugabogg, they love dick jokes more than they love riffs. Although I don't know about that, but yeah, these guys. They've been around for a bit now. When we first started like talking about death metal in general, we just flat out immediately agreed on the first EP that they put out, which is called Pornographic Seizures. And legit, man, like as soon as that EP came out, and as soon as that first riff in Uningest came in, I was just like, yeah, I like it a lot, and I just became a bit obsessed with that EP. Like, even though like everyone kind of talks about how they are this dumb fucking band, they talk about all the memey merch and dick jokes. The fact of the matter is that I think this band already have quite a distinctive style, in that it's definitely cavernous and caveman in style, but they also have like their riffs kind of wind on a lot, and it's also very moshy at the same time. And I just immediately loved their whole style they were going for on that EP. And ever since then, everyone's been fucking wondering what the fuck they're going to do next. When's an album coming out? Are they even going to be able to sustain themselves for an album's worth of material? Is it going to be? Are we going to be able to listen to an album of this without getting bored? Now here we are. It's 2021, and we have Tortured Whole by Sanguisugabogg. And I mean, should we get this out of the way now? Have they upped their game, do you think, from the first EP?
Well, I mean, it's definitely a change in style, riff-wise, and especially drum-wise.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck. I think they got a new drummer on this album, but like definitely a step up in musicality and finding their own own sound.
Yeah.
But it's totally different, because on Pornographic you got something way more cavernous, slow. There's still those like cavernous slow songs, as is one of both of our favorite. Hold on, what am I trying to say? One song that we both like about the same amount, super fucking cavernous, keeping that like harmonic thing that they had on I believe
Perverse Deranged.
Yeah,
which is my favorite song off of the EP.
Song off the EP, yeah, where it's like No, that's not the right one. That's
Uningest, you mean?
no. I'm trying to think of what the riff sounds like in Perverse the Range because now I've got the riff to the new song.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that shit.
I mean, then there might have already been a band that have kind of done that, and I mean, there's been plenty of death metal bands that have fucked around with pinch harmonics, but the
Well, yeah,
way
that's
that
like that's the brutal death metal influence is way more on this album. There's way
way
more brutal
more,
death metal influence
way
because
more.
well, I was like going into a little bit of a history lesson. Cameron, who is the guitarist of Sanguisugabogg, started doing this shit, and then I believe Devin, the singer, came in and said, "Listen to Defeated Sanity," and then
Yeah,
like see what I mean by brutal death metal, because I think Defeated Sanity is one of Devin's favorite bands. And
good
so
choice.
I think this just brung the brutal death metal a lot closer. And if you know what brutal death metal sounded like towards the 2000s, it was because brutal death metal at first was a lot of just but towards the
Slams,
2000s,
innit?
yeah, you got
Yeah.
like Disgorge and Malignancy and those bands who started adding this technicality to it, but lots and lots of pinch harmonics in those riffs.
Yes.
The jin jin jins weren't just jin jin jins, they were jin 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 jin. They were that sort of shit. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I am a fucking mark for that. I've always enjoyed, especially when you get like a blast section in those bands, and like you got dun, 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 but there's something about the way that Sanguisugabogg play them, in terms of the fact that,
The thing is that
they kind of make them weirdly off kilter melodic in a way. It's
I
fucking
think
cool.
also the main difference is those 2000s brutal death metal bands, they would have it jin jin beetle jin jin beetle jin jin beetle jin jin, and they'd have it like repeating. But
Yeah.
Sanguisugabogg, as we say, they'll start a riff and it just sounds like a random choice of notes, like, yeah, we'll go here, just in the chromatic scale. And then
Yeah.
afterwards they'll do it once and then they'll get back to that last note and they'll add something extra, come back up, add more, coming back down,
Yeah.
adding more. Oh, we're gonna add something new to the beginning, adding more, and it's just they just keep adding on to these riffs. So is it, and it does it at such a point where it's like you start getting bored of that riff, and then you're immediately back into it.
This is one of the reasons why I think like them being characterized as like a dumb caveman band is only
The reason being, right? And I'm getting some of my information here from a guy called Julian Gonzalez. Go watch his YouTube channel. Good shit. He made a video which I believe was gore lyrics charming or outdated or something like that. He's like us and likes the dumb gore lyrics, like, you know, the Tomb of the Mutilated, the Skinless stuff.
fuck yeah, yeah.
All of the brutal death metal stuff that's ever come out. And he said, nowadays things are becoming more artsy. Like you've got bands like Blood Incantation being the main one, where it's like, oh, space, stars, is your life a pyramid? Ooh. And he compared it as well using video games, because like say God of War during the 2000s, gory as shit, just fucking edgy.
Yeah, no, like
be,
legitimately,
right?
like Kratos used to absolutely murk and decapitate and just take fucking yeah.
You look at the new one, and he says,
it's emotional.
It's emotional. Oh, it's a sad dad story because everyone loves The Last of Us, is exactly what he says. And we're all becoming more artsy. And that's probably just because we want to feel like we're evolving and changing. And, you know, you remember the fucking guy that you sent me who was like, this is not music. And then was like, Dream Theater's music because it's
the guy like brutal slam deathcore is not music. Like, hey, listen to some Catatonia and Dream Theater. That's really like they're just a fucking prog nerd. Like which, you know, if you're a prog nerd, safe. Like I'm not anti-prog by any stretch of the imagination, but he tries to say like brutal death metal has no rhythm and no melody. It's like, well, it does.
Well,
like you can actually write this out on sheet.
It has more rhythm. It has more rhythm, than what fucking prog metal has, right? Because in brutal death metal, as we were talking about, there is that just jun, 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 especially fucking Slam. He mentioned
Yeah.
his Abominable Futility. You ever heard their shit was just jun, 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 like
Groovy as
that, right?
shit. You can shake
Yeah,
your
that's
ass
groovy. That's got a beat. Yeah,
you can shake your ass
that's
to
why
it. You really
that's
can.
why Slam thoughts exist.
Exactly.
And
Precisely.
then afterwards, like, what's Dream Theater? Just fucking like, you can't settle into a groove because they're changing the time signature every fucking 10 seconds in one song.
Yeah,
So like they're going from
hello,
6/7 to
10-minute long
8/10.
keyboard
Yeah.
solo.
Oh fuck that keyboard
Yeah,
solo.
I'm not big. I'm not a big fan either. But yeah. The point being, like, I know what you mean. Things have definitely evolved into being more artsy, which I honestly just think that has to do with the fact that the average consumer these days just demands more of media in general. But where I think the caveman sort of death metal thing comes into that is it's sort of like going, well, like and I love like blood incantation and things like that, but it's very heady and kind of like, there's music that you get into and you get lost in the mood. Whereas like Sanguisugabogg are a brilliant example of a band that are just fun. It's fucking dark.
Yeah.
It's just like they're
You
not
can
trying.
have fun with music, and that's the main point, is having fun.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, like, and this is coming from me. Like, I listen to a bunch of really fucking obnoxious like beat down. Right now, those guys make dumb music. It's literally like two fucking chords at like breakdown pace. I love it, right? But that's dumb. To me, what Sanguisugabogg are doing is not stupid in terms of how it's composed. Because, like you say, they make those like really weird fucking like windy riffs. Like, there's a part on like one of these songs where they're playing in like 13/4. You know what I mean? Like, and they kind of they keep you on your toes. It's not like they're just fucking writing things that are just absolutely simplistic. They're engaging musically, but it's just, yeah, the presentation and like what these songs are about, because I've fucking read some of these lyrics and they are
I didn't,
hilarious.
because when I tried to read these lyrics, they weren't available yet.
Man, at one point I'll have a little
And
scroll on my phone and read some, because
I was
it's
like,
worth reading out.
I'll just wait till the cassette comes out, right? Because itch. But no, we decided to change the order of which we're doing things.
Oh yeah, no, actually, yeah, I should probably address that right now.
A whole 10 minutes into the episode.
Yeah, a whole 10 minutes into the episode. I'll put it in the description anyway. And like, obviously, we were going to do the Entombed discography ranking, but you've had school, which is, and weirdly enough, listening to like 15 records is really time consuming. So we thought we'd move that up to next week.
When
You've
you're
now
not
got a lot of
feeling
time
it,
off.
especially when you're not feeling it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we'll be coming with the Entombed next week. I'm really excited about that. But we thought, fuck it. The Bogg Boys have put out this banger, and yeah, I want to get into like going into some of these tracks. So yeah, the first single that got released is Menstrual Envy, and I've got to say, when I first heard Menstrual Envy, I was into it, but I was a little bit suspicious because, like you said, it's way more like brutal death metal inspired as opposed to like the more cavernous, like moshy style they were going for. It's way more of like a slammy, brutal death metal thing.
Yeah, like, I'd say like the main differences are, yeah, we've got slam and brutal death metal in the forefront in this song. It's the songs range from being cavernous and then slam and brutal death metal songs. They're never in one song, but main difference is this drummer. I mean, well, I was to get the drums out of the way because, man, I mean, there's got to be more times that we're gonna have to talk about him. But this song, he stands out. First of all, I always make the joke, oh, you love pingy snares and brutal death metal. Well, here it is. This is probably one of the pingiest snares I've fucking heard in my life.
It's the reverb. The ring off of it is fucking ridiculous.
and with it being like a pingy snare, if you know what ghost notes are, which you should, not talking to you specifically, I'm talking about everyone. Even like normally ghost notes, you're meant to have like a duh on a normal one, and a ghost note's meant to just be like a ding. Like, it's very, very quiet. But here, the ghost notes are about as loud as a normal snare head. And in Menstrual Envy, he uses this, and he fucking like uses so many ghost notes. And he's able to, their new drummer, who I think is called Cody, he's like able to make riffs not sound so simple and everything like that, because he's just adding fills in all the time, filling his boots in, just. But it's not like absolute wankery. It feels
No.
somewhat calculated, and also it makes the song sound more interesting because, especially on these brutal death metal tracks, having just these dumb riffs, um, it's interesting to hear these like drum parts. It's like I was talking about last week with Lust of Decay, where he's doing all these drum fills. It's
Yeah,
actually quite
yeah.
interesting to hear. And the main difference that I noticed immediately is Devin's vocal style has totally changed. I mean, he's doing straight fucking like inhales here.
Yeah,
I
I
swear
mean,
down there inhales.
I mean, I'm not sure if they're inhales, but he's gone guttural. Like whereas
No,
before,
like some of them are inhales. I know there is a part in Menstrual Envy, in that sort of midsection where it just goes chun 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 chun. It's just like a
yeah.
one note,
Oh yeah, there's that
and he
bit
goes like,
where he does like a little squeaky brie. Yeah. I know what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
The thing that
So, but
what you
otherwise, yeah,
mentioning
he's
that
doing lots of like
drummer.
way more guttural shit.
It's way more guttural, and yeah, I think the drummer, he is the MVP of the album in many ways because he makes it. He to me it makes it so much more energetic. Like there's a you don't agree he's the MVP of the album?
Nah, it may
Oh,
just be because I'm a guitarist and I'm biased, but I think Cameron's the MVP of this album.
oh, mate. To be fair,
Big up Cameron.
I'm not putting down Cameron by any stretch of the imagination. Like he comes up with some ridiculous riffs on this. That to me, the energy level that fucking good drummer gives some of these songs is mad. But yeah, to finish up on Menstrual Envy, I do really like it. I like it more than when I first heard it. I love that fucking like the sort of the halftime trem riff in the middle of the da 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 da. Like it gets me every time. I do really like it, but
I love that pinch harmonic riff that's like towards like the start of the song. I mean, I remember
yeah,
one of my good friends, yeah, he's sometimes pretty overcritical and stuff that he doesn't like. So, and he was like, "Oh yeah, what's that band's name that you can't fucking write?" I was like, "Oh yeah, Sanguisugabogg." He checked it out, said he listened to Golden in the Chest. I was like, if you're gonna check out the new shit, listen to Menstrual Envy, because you'll come to find later that I do really enjoy this fucking song. And he comes
mm,
in the next day to school and he's like, dude, that fucking pinch harmonic riff. It's so infectious. Usually for me, it takes a few listens to like get a riff or a song in my head. But that riff just has stuck with me since I first heard it because it's just ah, it's everything I want in brutal death metal, man. I love those pinchy harmonic riffs.
yeah. No, it is definitely fucking a bit catchy, isn't it? But yeah, Menstrual Envy, it's well good. But then we move on to Gordon in the Chest, and this to me is where, in my opinion, the album really picks up. Like
Ooh,
this, I
ooh.
or what?
I just thought to myself immediately of that intro riff.
Oh mate, it's fucking sick. Yeah, like it
That like whenever I hear that, I'm like, yes, yes.
it is so obnoxious, but it's so cool. Like it
Yeah,
just
he's
has
just
such a
going up in tritones on
yeah,
the
but
record.
it just sounds it sounds fucking wicked. That fucking riff immediately got in my head as soon as I heard it. It's just got such
Well,
an
yeah.
awesome resonance. Like I love those fucking pinch riffs that they play, man. They're so
It's
cool.
good that they put those two songs next to each other because those are the two songs that have the videos that link together. We'll talk about the videos in a minute, though. We'll talk about the music right now.
Absolutely, and like then they bring in like that kind of that gore grindy skank beat as well, which they use a few times in
Oh
the
yeah,
album.
during that riff. Oh, mate, you just reminded me how many fucking good riffs. And it's just
Yeah, I want to fucking jig around my fucking room like a fucking
oh
Irishman.
man,
To
I was
those
listening to that. I was walking in a field, and I will admit, I was like, I was doing I was walking the same way that I walk when I'm listening to slam, but faster, obviously, because that fucking
yeah, it's way more
like
up
grind
tempo.
beat is way more up tempo than what slam's like. Yeah, no, that riff is so much fun.
Mate, although if you want to talk about fun, for me it's the fucking mosh riff towards the end, like you get the little bit where it drops out with just the bass. Oh mate, every time it's moshy as shit. I want to just start fucking like wailing my arms at dickheads. I really do. Like that riff makes me miss gigs because I just start
if
throwing.
If you were in a music video, you would definitely be wailing your arms at dickheads. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Do we want to start talking about the music videos then?
No, I think we should go through the songs.
Okay, all right. But yeah, Gored in the Chest. Spoiler, it's one of my favorites on the album. I think it's just a satisfying bit of me. But then we go on to Dragged, which starts off with a fat fill. By a truck, dragged by a truck, which starts off with a ridiculous fucking drum fill, like an actual ridiculous drum fill. It's just gnarly as fuck, and it's lyrically, this one is it's exactly what it sounds like. It's about a dude who's been tied to the back of a truck and he's being dragged across a road. And my favorite line in the whole song, where he's talking, is just like, blood is pouring down my shaft and ass crack. What's left of my cock is a disgrace.
No, that reminds me of one of the lyrics I've just written. Holy shit. Mate.
They're jacking your style.
Either way. Yeah, mate. Like I said, I showed this to my friend, and he was like, "Yeah, I came up with this lyrical idea," and it was after I showed him Sanguisugabogg. And yeah, I mean, people have. If you watch any review, which you would have by now, because so many people have reviewed this album before we have. That's because we're slow twats, and because we like to take our time with things. I guess we're just slow twats.
Yes.
And so. What was I trying to say? They were saying that this is going to influence a lot of people, like new brutal death metal bands.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
But like I guess we just got influenced lyrically by them just because of how fun it is to write those sorts of lyrics.
No,
because otherwise I'd be writing Mortal Decay style lyrics, but it's hard to write that type of lyrics, right? It's sounding dumb because you're trying to make it sound like you're fucked up. But you sound dumb if you can't really convey it.
Yeah, it's hard to write that balance to when you're actually trying to sound like get inside the headspace of someone who's like mentally fucking warped without it just sounding a bit try hard. And
so why not just write dumb lyrics enough as you can sound dumb? And
yeah, exactly. I'm a big fan
15, so I mean, you know what. What else are we meant to do?
Precisely, it's you're a prime age for juvenile bullshit. It's go right ahead with it. It's fantastic, but yeah, no, the lyrics. I mean, I'm a big fan. I think I'm a fan of like the similar sort of style of horror that they are, where it's just like deliberately like just gory and like splat. People call it splatstick because it's like slapstick but with splatter. Like I love those kinds of fucking movies. So like, and it's very obvious that they're like very influenced by that.
I've finally been catching myself up on all the classic movies I've been missing out on.
Yeah, man, you've got a journey ahead of you, man. There's some amazing, there's some brilliant movies. There's some brilliant movies within
this man is full of horror movies. So I mean, I've got the ideas. Speaking of horror movies, I told you about this beforehand because we started our review before we even started recording this. And,
unfortunately, so yes, we did end up like talking way too fast at each other, and I was like, we're not recording. We should probably be recording, but it is what it is.
But the title "Dragged by a Truck" reminds me of that scene in Final Destination 4. I believe it's the fourth one. It's the one with the bad characters in it. It's got the racist, right? Some racist dude within the group. If you know what Final Destination is about, I'm not going to explain the whole fucking film because we're not here to talk about this shit. But I'm going to anyways. Racist dude is like, oh yeah, I'm in a group with a black person, so I'm gonna fucking burn a cross outside of his house. Whoa. And somehow, if you know the premise of Final Destination, if you're around any dangerous objects or anything at all for that matter, you're gonna fucking die. So obviously it's in this black dude's, like outside this black dude's house, and this black guy, I don't remember his name, I'm really sorry.
Man, it's a horror movie
his
character.
truck-
You're not meant to.
Yeah, and as well, it's the fourth one, and all the characters in the fourth one fucking suck.
There you go.
And there's this he has it like a truck with one of those like towing things on the back.
Yeah, like a
Hooks,
towing
is what
bar.
they're
Yeah.
called. And yeah, and Death sets up a trap where the guy's going to burn the cross. One moment.
You got a bit of gas there, sir.
Just a tad. It's like he gets hooked by the truck, and then because he's got a torch in his hand, he lights himself on fire, and the truck's just moving and dragging him along whilst he's on fire. I don't think the song "Dragged by a Truck" has a man on fire. It's literally just about being dragged by a truck. And why can't "We Be Friends" plays in the background? So whenever I see the song title, I just start laughing. And if I read the lyrics, I probably start laughing. I can't wait to get that cassette. Please make it come out, Sanguisugabogg.
I'm sure it's coming, but yeah, no, do get on the lyrics of this. Like, there's a few like legitimately fucking hysterical lines. But one part I really enjoy of this song as well. There's like a part where where they're doing a slammy riff, and then it just like for literally one fucking bar. It just slows down into like proper slammy thing, and just goes straight back to normal after that one bar. I love like every time.
I love that sort of shit.
Yeah, it catches me out every single time, and I fucking love it because I go, oh yeah, they're slowing it down. Oh no, back to normal again. That's what I mean. Keeping you on your toes is important if you're listening to fucking like consistent.
Yeah. Now that I've said that my band has been influenced lyrically by Sanguisugabogg, you're gonna think that in one of our songs we stole something straight from that song. No, we had that idea before this came out. Fuck you.
All right, okay, no, it's all good. It's all good. No, maybe you can get the Bogg Bois for stealing your flex, mate. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to be starting no wars.
Before we even released it. Not the why. I don't want to start a war against the Bogg Bois. I want to be friends with the Bogg Bois.
Oh, I think we all do. But anyway, moving on.
You said actually no. I'm not going to say that because otherwise you might go to prison.
All right. Okay. No. Oh God, you're making me sound as though I'm full of all dodgy shit now. Fantastic. Moving on swiftly. I don't know what you're talking about anyway. I genuinely don't. But then we're moving on to one of the. You
said you'd do something if you met the Bogg Bois. That's all, because it would feel mean if you didn't do something with them.
Yeah, no, sure. Okay, let's definitely move on. On to the next track, which is kind of fittingly called Pornographic, and it's one of two interlude tracks on the album. Now, this one, to me,
you almost said the name of the other interlude.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a bit tongue-tied. Ironic. But this sounds more like the soundtrack for like a cheesy 80s TV drama. I'm guessing it's meant to be porn music, but it just kind of sounds really over sentimental.
It starts out like a porn music thing, like 80s style.
Yeah, very 80s. It sounds like on a shitty Casio keyboard.
Yeah, keyboard. Yeah. But I meant 80s stars and 80s porn type movies, and then afterwards, it moves into an 80s cheesy horror movie. But I remember I heard this boom, 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 those notes. I remember hearing that in a song beforehand. I was like, oh, they've just jacked that totally. Then after it goes off into a totally different direction.
Do you have any idea where they've sampled like both of these interludes from?
Do you recognize that the first two notes that I played in the piano track?
The thing is that I like that particular kind of like synth sound, that kind of keyboard sound is something that was very like they was using loads of things throughout that era. So to me, it was just like I thought like it definitely. I've 100% heard that before, but I don't know if I've heard that exactly.
The opposite translates into something so totally different.
Yeah, but
that track is sick. Like I like that they throw these things in.
Yeah, it's comical as well, but it lets you know that they're like both of the interludes both have that like 80s trash kind of thing going on, and like I said, it's really obvious that's like one of their main like inspirations is like 80s trashy horror, which I love. It's one of the main things I love about these dudes is the fact that they are pulling from that so much and sort of bring them, because that to me is like the epitome of fun. Like half of the movies that I watch for fun, some people just look at and go like, oh God, like I was around a friend's house hungover once. And I was just, and they were like, oh, what's a good movie to watch all hungover? And to me, the answer to that question is Hobo with a Shotgun. I was like, fuck yeah, let's watch Hobo with a Shotgun. And Hobo with a Shotgun quite literally opens up with an evil pedestrian man making a homeless person eat glass in exchange for money to buy drugs. And to me, that's hilarious. But this other person who was also hungover was watching it and going like, whoa, what the fuck? I'm too fragile for this. So it's lovely that
get it fragile because glass is fragile.
No, we're full of them. We're full of them.
Either yeah, but like those like types of movies. I mean, most of like the 80s gore horror movies are fucking hilarious. I mean, I literally watched one the other day. It's not made in the 80s. It was made in 2007, much to my dismay. Because I mean, I told you that I watched it. It totally opens up like an old VHS. It has like the a preview of coming attractions at the start. And it's a Quentin Tarantino film, so it definitely didn't come out in the 80s.
Oh, Grindhouse, Planet Terror.
Like the 80s. No, the Grindhouse Productions. Yeah, I watched Planet Terror yesterday. I told you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of shit where it's just like a bunch of blood and fucking gore, and then afterwards, obviously, there's always very nice women inside of those types of films.
You've got to have your TNA quota. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be titties and ass. Otherwise, it's not a fucking exploitation grindhouse kind of movie. You know what I mean? It's all part of the fun.
And then afterwards, I just watched Friday the 13th Part 2, which at the time was probably fucking terrifying. But now it's one of those where it's like funny.
Yeah,
some of them are fucking retarded, and as well, it's got the TNA in it. So you know.
Yeah, no, mate. Well, the thing is, in those movies, anybody that gets their TNA out is dead because there's like a weird moralistic edge to it, where it's like, oh, the teens are having sex again, and they're smoking again, and they're drinking. Oh, he's not happy about that. He's stab. But anyway, we're talking about horror movies too much. That fucking interlude, that interlude, definitely does like conjure the old fucking horror movies very well and puts a good mood on it. But then we move into it is my favorite song on the album, but I'm gonna fucking go right ahead and say this is my favorite Sanguisugabogg song so far. I think Dead as Shit is fucking awesome. It's so good. Like to me, there is not much I love more. I was saying to you a little while ago, the mid-tempo chunk in death metal.
He's just had this existential crisis type of thing where he's like, I forgot how much I love Scourge of Iron. Scourge of Iron. It's just mid-tempo shit. Also, I heard the riff to Dead as Shit before the song was out.
What did they use it in?
It was like I think the live video at the what's that fucking place that always has death metal bands around? I totally forgot the name of the venue, but it was a live one, and I was like, this is interesting because like from the whole beginning of the song, there's like literally no drums. It's just this riff just going on and on, just and it's like I say, that's the one that's reminiscent to me of Perverse Deranged.
Yeah, for sure.
It's natural harmonics that they use in that. I'm certain it sounds like natural harmonics. Could be pinch harmonics. I could be totally wrong. Either way.
But they bring that in with no drums at the beginning. It's just the fucking chugs. And I love the way the vocals come in on it, and they're quite understandable for like this band's standards as well. He says like, "Awaking from the dead, body stiff and cold, scratch the
waking from the grave,
scratch the rotted wood." I forget the last part, but it's like it's just so catchy. And then like the drums come in, and I it's one of those moments in metal where I can't not headbang. Like it just as soon as the drums come in, I'm just like no, dun dun dun. It's just lovely. I think it's their best song so far. You get it, and obviously midway through the song they kind of get like crazy on some of the fucking fills, like again, and it kind of moves into like the fucking more windy riff territory. it's just perfect. It's like the perfect Sanguisugabogg song. I fucking love it. And it's it's a song about it sounds like it's about a poor old zombie who feels nothing but pain, but he's gonna pick out your eyeballs anyway, because he's dead as shit. But what a fucking track, eh?
He's also
Oh yeah, at the end, because he says like throughout the song, I am dead as shit. And at the end it just you have become
I'm glad you gave the example there. I'm giving the example of the riffs. Otherwise, I would have totally done the example of the screams, but you wouldn't have heard it.
Yeah, no, it's
so quiet.
It's oh, you'll get better. You'll get better. I promise you. Keep keep practicing, my Don. Keep practicing. Yeah, no, but that's a fucking banger. I think it is my favourite Sanguisugabogg song. What a tune! And then we move on to the title track. Man, oh man, this is why.
Talking about the title track, totally forgot one part of the fucking main part of the history lesson. I already knew how this album was going to be spelt because I listened to the Midwest Morning podcast, and they told the new album name, and I think they got the idea from Midwest Morning, from being on that podcast. So obviously, when it started coming around to the album coming out, they call it Tortured Whole, and with it being Sanguisugabogg, people thought it was Tortured Whole without the W's, because they thought, they're fucking homoerotic. They're going to be talking about torturing some dude's asshole.
Clearly, naturally.
I'm sure they must have come up with this idea, or fucking Midwest Morning, because Ethan Morney, the guy who's on the Midwest Morning podcast, very cool guy. He said, "Oh yeah, Tortured Whole, like with only a H, right?" And then they found that fucking hilarious. And they're like, yeah, that would be pretty funny, tortured asshole. And they're like, no, it's with a W. And there was also a foreshadowing to it being with a W, because Cameron has the words "tortured whole" tattooed across his fucking head.
Does he?
Yeah.
I never noticed. Fucking hell.
I think it's also in the same font as the actual album, like how Tortured Whole, that font. Same as the 8-Moan comeback print, where it's like the like a digital.
Yeah, like the really
numbers.
it's like weird block capitals, but like kind of strangely shaped.
I'd say it as like digital alarm clock type numbers.
Yeah, like old fucking LED alarm clock, like from like the 90s. Yeah. That's exactly how it looks.
So tricks the whole world into thinking it was spelt Tortured Whole as an asshole, but no, it's Tortured Whole as in your whole body.
Yeah, or you've been tortured to the point where you are now whole and complete. Like, which is from what I can see of the lyrics.
That's too artsy to be fucking.
No. So the song.
No, I'm joking.
The lyrics are literally about like a guy witnesses his fucking family get murdered by what looks like just like a random attack by home invaders, and so at the end of the song, he manages to take control. And he tortures the fuck out of the guy, and he'd like to get revenge on him. So I think it is meant to be like, I'm going to torture you to get my revenge. I'm going to until I am tortured whole. But as I was saying, this track to me is a prime example of why you need to listen to albums more than once. Because when I first heard it, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. I quite like it. Like, it's a good one. And as I've listened to it more and more, I think this has this fucking thing has the best drums on the album. Like the drums on this song are so energetic. It's like borderline like breakbeat, like drum and bass in parts, like the patterns that he's doing with the snare and the energy that gives like some of those fucking riff parts is fucking crazy, man. I love it. Really, really fucking cool. What else have I got in my notes here? And then the whole thing keeps you on your toes. Then the last 30 fucking seconds, they bring a fat little mosh riff in, because of course they do. You know what I mean? It gets groovy as fuck again. No, man, why the fuck wouldn't you? Final 30 seconds. Go and everyone jump the fuck up for a second. Let's have a good one. But yeah, this is one of I think this is the drum performance of the whole album. Like seriously, he goes fucking hard on this song. It's fucking crazy. Like his fills are constant, and like but like you said before, he's not wanking at all. It's not like fucking just showing how good he is. He's always in the pocket, which for me is, if you're gonna be this busy, you have to keep within the pocket, and he keeps a groove the whole time while still sounding manic. It's so good.
Wanking the correct term for drums, because wanking is the correct term for guitar, because obviously if you're wanking on guitar you're just going like that, right? And it's like you've got a huge shaft, but I don't know if that's the correct term, right?
He's bashing one out. He's bashing one out.
Yeah, you're trying. He's doing a quickie. There you go. If we're gonna continue with
masturbatory
male
references.
Masturbation. Yes, he's going for a quickie right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
bassists are pussies.
Yeah, man, like bassists are fine. The bassist in my band is a fucking dog.
No, I was joking because they
God.
do the figuring, right? They do the fit. Yeah, unless if he's the bassist in your band and he does that shit. Blew my mind when I saw Jack do that.
Yeah, no, the bassist in my band's a fucking dom. But I don't want to get into shameless self-promotion because we're here to talk about the Bogg. But yeah, it's one of my favourite tracks on the album just for the drum performance. I mean, the whole album's good, but the fucking drums on that track are fucking exquisite. It's banging. And then we get maybe the funniest fucking title on the fucking record, which is Interlude, which is, again, another.
That's not the funniest title on the record. That's not the funniest title on the record. The next song is the funniest title, but I didn't understand it because of how fucking English I am. Either way, Interlude.
Yeah, no, Interlude again. It's another sort of an interlude track, but it's another sort of 80s sounding synth. But this is like super John Carpenter, like dread filled, like horror synths. You know what I mean? Like it like fully sounds like something out of a fucking horror movie. It's really, really cool. A really good like scene setter, has that kind of real this sounds like the sort of thing that would play as the victim is like getting ready in their room and the killer is waiting outside the window unbeknownst to them. It's got that like it's coming and it's not going to be nice sort of thing. It's just, you know what I mean? But it's lovely. Again, I wonder where they sampled it from. I'd have to look it up. I haven't had a look.
I mean, you never know. This could be totally original.
It could be, but it does sound very authentic. That's the thing that I'm like, if they are original pieces, then that's a fucking total compliment to them because they haven't just like compose them in a way that sounds authentic. They sound recorded with like vintage equipment, so it like legitimately does sound like it's just been lifted. So I think it probably has.
Keyboard.
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? I mean, I'll have to do a little bit of research myself. But yeah, not much else to really say about that. Outside of the fact that it is a really good, like, sort of a mood setter and an interlude. So we will move on to what you reckon is the funniest thing on the entire record. Which
can I try and say it without laughing, please?
It's Dick Fillet or Dick Fillet.
All right, okay, it's Dick Fillet.
Yeah,
okay, it said Dick Fillet. And do you understand the reference now?
You kind of. I know what a fillet is. It's a cut of meat.
No. All right. I needed this explained to me because yes, at first I was Dick Fillet, right? Because I'm English. But my friend who I showed this to, hi George. I know that you watch all of our episodes all the way through. Cheers, lad. He was like, yeah, no, this fucking song title was hilarious, and he was like Dick Fillet, and I was like, yeah, Dick Fillet. He was like, no, Dick Fillet. And I wasn't properly listening at the time. I was kind of off in my head because I had shit going on. And he goes, no, it means like Dick Fillet, as in like Chick-fil-A.
Oh yeah.
And then like I was until like 2 hours later, I was like, oh wait, I just realized what you meant by Dick Fillet.
No,
that just clicked that you had said Chick-fil-A.
that didn't clock with me either. That it's obviously the fast food restaurant where they sell chicken in America, which
and now it's Chick-fil-A.
We don't have Chick-fil-A over here. It's KFC or nothing. But yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but I've read the lyrics for this, and this. No. This is about finding a paedophile and forcing him into your car and cutting off his dick and force feeding it to him.
You know what? I fucking love these types of songs. Like, especially when it's Sanguisugabogg has obviously been very homoerotic, but one of the first bands to do you know what? I'm actually not gonna say it because otherwise people are gonna you're gonna rate me again for mentioning them every episode. I'm gonna not say
No,
that.
do it. Do it. Just say
This
it.
one's contextual, right? I'm not actually just trying to shove this band down your throat. I'm doing it contextually. So in an interview, Travis Ryan said, "Oh, he enjoys reversing the roles because obviously death metal throughout his life has been very, very misogynistic."
Yeah.
And I believe one of the first songs. I mean, he has loads of songs that are very much like around torturing a male. I mean, there's Gestation of Smegma. There you go. That's like the first
Beautiful.
album. Gestation, and you can hear him say Gestation of Smegma in this fucking gore grind mess. Then offers there's a song on the first track on To Serve Man called Testicular Manslaughter, which is taking a rapist, and because he's a rapist, they're kind of the same premise as this, removing his penis privileges. And there's one line in that song that fucking killed me. It was, "Ever had your balls crushed by a ball peen hammer?"
Yeah.
And I asked
I
just sent my friends, all of my friends, a message saying, "Ever had your balls crushed by a ball peen hammer?" Just because I thought it was so fucking funny.
I'm sure they've shared your enthusiasm.
Yeah. One of them said I should book a session, and then afterwards,
I'm not surprised.
and then afterwards, you've got obviously the very, very world-renowned Forced Gender Reassignment. I mean, that video is way less about the mutilation of the wife, the woman, into becoming a man. It's way more about the mutilation of the dude. I mean, most of the fucking lyrics are about the mutilation of the dude as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like these types of songs that reverse their roles because I think, like, being misogynistic in brutal death metal, it has its charm, but it's like you've heard countless and countless and countless fucking bands say, "Oh, this woman said that she doesn't want to suck my dick, so I'm going
to cut her apart,
kill her, and then rape her cadaver."
But the thing is, like, to me, if I'm going to be talking, if I'm going to be listening to a song where there's this kind of like this thing of like getting revenge and doing horrible things to someone, I always would like it to be someone of whom that's deserving, like someone who genuinely deserves to get fucked up. And a woman, I like, I know going through school is hard, and sometimes that girl you like doesn't want to fucking be your boyfriend, and sometimes you don't get sex, and it's a bit shit. But don't start writing songs like that. It's a bit of a cringy look. Whereas,
no, unless if it's a clear yes.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have to give consent lessons. They're very obvious.
Do not take offense to it. They may not like your dick, but otherwise, just let it be. Well, just let it be, man. Like,
speaking words of wisdom, let it be. That will be the only fucking Beatles reference I will ever make on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, as soon as you said "let it be," I was like, "Oh yeah," I just realized what it said. Same for you women as well. Same for you. You don't get off. You can fucking sexually harass people. Yeah. But like, so I think it's kind of fun. And especially being both of us being guys, I think it's way easier to write about fucking torturing a guy, right? Because if you're gonna talk about torturing some dude's dick, you're gonna know. I mean, think about it like films.
You're gonna know what
the
worst thing possible is.
You can when you see someone like get kicked in the cock or some shit, you're like, oh, you feel it as well, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You're gonna know like how like the worst way to fucking hurt this dude. Whereas if you talk about a woman, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stab her a bunch, and then when she's dead, I can finally fucking do what I wanted to do. Woo!
Yeah.
Whereas
but that's the thing, like
being about a dude.
Where that's become such
again, with it being obviously some guys are probably scared of being called gay for it, but like Sanguisugabogg ain't scared of it. I'm pretty sure Actually,
which is a
I
fucking
know
alpha move,
we
a massively alpha move.
yeah,
Him being
this is an alpha move. And as well, Cameron did an interview for Revolver, and he said he was kind of scared of getting into the death metal scene, with it being very much of just a fucking huge, not gay, sorry, straight male-based audience, right? Because it's all
Yeah.
about mutilating women, and that's because no one wants to be seen as like dudes,
Mm.
and because it's kind of become tradition. And he said in the Revolver mag that he was a I believe he's
He's non-binary,
bisexual
isn't he?
and
Like
not. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
like
non-binary. That's the main one I was trying to think of. But yeah, he's a bisexual non-binary. And
yeah,
like then officer, I remember everyone was like, "Way, fucking hell's Cameron, man. He's made me feel more comfortable about being in the fucking death metal scene and shit like that." And I thought that's fucking powerful. I mean,
yeah.
it's probably added to their rise of them being like just not giving a fuck about the fucking stigma that everything needs to be against a woman.
Well, it
Otherwise,
has to be all like
just like
macho and all like
fucking
super
dumb.
super masculine and all this
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, in Drag by a Truck, the guy admits that his dick has become something that's totally fucking worthless. And like, oh man, it's like, one of my, I know I keep doing this shameless fucking plug, but in one of my fucking lyrics, I it's like I don't want to spoil it too much, but yeah, I basically say some dude's dick totally fucking worthless at this point and mock him for it. But that's just because like, dude, the misogynistic thing has been done for so long. Yeah, it's fun, but
Yeah,
like start there's new territory that can be explored with it being against males. That's for sure.
yeah.
And like I say, because most of us are dudes, we might as well torture ourselves because we know the best ways to fucking hurt ourselves.
Well, that's one of the main reasons why I do fucking like this song as well, is because he's a fucking paedophile. Like, you know what I mean? Like the idea of someone getting their just desserts, they're like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
you're a fucking
They
pervert.
deserve
Yeah,
it.
like, let's talk about cutting this guy's dick off and shoving it down his throat. Like, fantastic stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, you
like
can finally feel what fucking shit he's done.
exactly. But that and I'm fucking glad we had that chat, because that's something that I've long fucking thought about, like brutal death metal's kind of misogyny thing that it's had for a long time, and like how much of a cliche it's become, and how weird that is in a way, and the fact that there's all these bands that are kind of challenging that.
Like,
It's
I'm
fucking
not
cool.
saying don't make songs misogynistic anymore, but it's like
Do other
don't
things
make it the
too.
same old fucking story. Yeah,
Yeah.
do a new story about it. Don't make it be, oh, you didn't get your dick wet, so you're gonna fucking kill this woman.
Yeah,
No, man.
exactly. It's a bit
Fucking make a new story.
weird flex, but okay. You know what I mean? There's some of these lyrics. So, but going on to the actual song, itself, there's some really cool hi-hats in the intro, and the riffs are sludgy as shit. And this is the song which I mentioned earlier, which is in 13/4. I fucking counted, because I was like, what fucking time signature
Oh, you
is
can
that
count
in?
beats. See, I guess that's because in this song I remember them evolving the riff so much. Where I was on at the beginning, where they go to the last note and then, well, we're adding something new, and we're gonna add something new to the first part of the song, and that makes the fucking bar go on for 13 beats, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's in 13/4. So that again, like I said, I listen to loads of bands that make legitimately dumb music. 13/4 requires at least somewhat of a bit of a musical know-how to pull that off in a smooth way, and they do it. It sounds fucking cool, and the way that that riff winds round and then comes back round in a way that is awkward but smooth at the same time. Beautiful. It's a good bloody track. Dick fillet, tick fillet, Chick-fil-A. I'm so weird. I feel like a dickhead that I didn't fucking think of that myself. Yeah, fucking hell.
So did I, and like I said, because I zoned out, it took me a whole 2 hours to fucking realize the words reverberated in my head. I was like, oh yeah. And there's time
it's like that fucking Simpsons joke. The Simpsons bit where it's like, dental plan, Lisa needs braces. Dental plan, Lisa needs braces, just for fucking 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yes, on to the next one, which again has some really funny lyrics, which I'll get into. But I was happy immediately because this fucking opens up with a doom riff. Yeah, it's a big, yeah, man, just a big fuck off, like dirty, dirgy doom riff. And then we get some good old fashioned hi hats and pinches and the winding riff. It's short, but it's very sweet. I like it a lot. But this to me might be the funniest lyrically on the album when I knew what it was about. So when I first read the lyrics, I was kind of like, there's piss in the clouds. Everyone's covered in blood. The fuck is this? Well, what's this? And then, like, I also watched one review that the guy on Banger TV did, and he said that the song is about this song's lyrics are about God getting a urinary tract infection and pissing blood all over the world, causing the apocalypse. Like, I wonder how
with this shit, man.
How fucking high were they?
I know who comes up with the shit. Devin does. Oh, mate, they say their favorite drug's acid. So I mean, like, you gotta. Yeah. As far as riff goes in this one has got some pinch harmonics. This one has got some strong pinch harmonics.
Yeah, no, the pinches in this are sick. Actually, fucking ridiculously sick. Like, it's very short, but I love it. But yeah, saying as I'm talking about short, I'll move on to the next track, which I'm gotta say is probably my least favorite on the album because it's like a minute long, and it doesn't feel as though. I don't know. To me, if you're going to make a minute-long track on a brutal death metal album, it's got to be wild. I don't know if that's just my personal preference, but to me, if you're going to do a minute-long track,
it's got.
You've got to go hard.
I mean, usually when you do such a short song, it's like either it's because you've run out of ideas and you're like, yeah, this sounds good enough as it is, or if not, it's that you genuinely don't want to add to it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got enough energy as it is.
Whereas
sometimes when you. I mean, I know that in brutal death metal, there's not going to be like any 5-minute long songs, but when you start adding shit, sometimes it can just be a totally new section that doesn't work right with the rest of the song.
For sure.
Minute-long songs usually are pretty special.
Yeah, whereas I just feel as though this is an all right riff, just kind of repeated a couple of times. It's too short. It's not quite wild enough to be that short. It could have been developed into something more, but the lyrics are about watching your girlfriend fuck a corpse, which is good fun. It's like he's like really enjoying watching his girlfriend get off on a stiff corpse, stiff in many ways.
You know what? I'm proud for them.
Yeah,
you've got a triangle of love now. It's open love, all right?
We don't kink shame on this podcast.
No. However, though, don't fuck a corpse.
I mean, don't, but like if you know, like within the context of the song, that sounds like they're having a good time.
However, though, I'm gonna throw my opinions out here. YouTube, please don't fucking demonetize us. I don't think it's much worse to fuck a corpse than it is to fuck like a child or something. I think you can fuck a corpse, but don't fuck real life.
Okay, let's move on. Going on to the final track, which is definitely one of the best songs on the record, which is Felching Filth.
This one, just like that title, first of all.
Yeah.
Alliteration.
I'm not even going to get into the lyrics because, like, this is where, to me, like, lyrically, they went, we've been holding off for this album. We've really held off. We've made it funny.
Get into the lyrics, please.
Should I fucking Google this song and actually read some lyrics out?
Yeah, I Google it, and I'll talk about the main part that I want to talk about.
All right, okay. Give me a second, right? Oh my god!
Since I've been the riff man of this, basically, there's one riff in this that sounds not exactly, but it almost copies the riff from Uningest. As soon as I heard it, I was like, that's Unjust off the fucking Pornographic Seizures EP.
Yeah, it's so heavy. It's such a good riff. It's because I think it's like almost like an upgraded version of it as well. It's super fucking heavy.
It has more like of because the original was like
yeah.
I believe that the is now higher, and they add like a type of like vibrato to it. So it's like
Yeah, that sounds more bendy and dirty. It's lovely.
Yeah, it's almost sounds like they're using a slide or something. It sounds a bit more country, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I never would have put that together, but I do know what you mean. But I'm going to read some of the lyrics.
No, I mean, like on its own. If you haven't heard the riff in Uningest, but comparing it to that, it sounds like they took an Uningest and they're like, let's try and make this with a slide.
Yeah, it's quite something. But seeing as you are so nicely, I'm going to read some of the lyrics from this song. Okay. White milk curdled juices sucked from out the rotted asshole enters my eager mouth, fell to the dead rectal semen. What are you saying? Why are you making those things at me?
I'm pretty sure either they talked about this song before, or if not, 200 Stab Wounds came up with this lyrical idea in Maggot Casket. Just from memory, 200 Stab Wounds, 200 off the Midwest Morning podcast, 200 Stab Wounds in Maggot Casket. He read out the lyrics because it's like, we can totally not understand you because you're so fucking soaked in reverb. And he said something like about sucking the cum out of somebody's rectal cavity. And so I guess that they just fucking came up with the same idea. And he says, I know this is 200 Stab Wounds, not Sanguisugabogg. And the fucking I forgot the guy's name for 200 Stab Wounds. Sorry, my brain's being fried right now.
Too much Felchie.
And he was like, and then after the end, one of the other guys from the band goes, hot, and he goes, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of trying to make this horny, and people would be like, yeah, you know what? This is I'm erect now. I mean, like they're kind of taking the same fucking like Sanguisugabogg type of thing, and I think that sucking the cum out of someone's ass is just a fucking hilarious type of lyrical idea.
I mean, it is, but like when you make it a corpse, because this is like as it goes.
It was a corpse in Maggot Casket as well.
Yeah. Where was it? Feast on his putrid ass pipe, swish the embalming fluid. How good it tastes, my nozzle waste, drips off my face. Sucked out the hole, death has its toll, my mouth is full. Enjoying my grotesque cream pie. Anal fissures, reanimated moments before climax. Yeah. It was written in his will, making his lifeless body come back in more ways than one. Siphoning out my seed, it tastes so deliciously appetizing. Excrete out the waste from the cold, dead, rotting carcass tremendously. Fluid spills from the humble hole. The humble hole, I like that. He's got a nice humble hole.
That's yeah.
It's wholesome, not in that way. Eat out the insects. He lays so nice after he's has. I don't know if that's a typo. Pulsating dead asshole, given the kiss of life and left a surprise in my mouth.
Shit! Is this what's the fucking name of? I forgot. Someone explained this.
Munting.
I don't remember what the name of it is. It Munting?
I think it is Munting.
Where you finish off inside your partner's mouth and after they French kiss it back to you.
Oh, that's snowballing.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that's snowballing.
That's what it's on about. Right?
Well, yeah. I taste the stench of my own waste. Dead but willing, the deed is fulfilled. I've received a facial from the festering dead. Suck it out, the dead till it's dry, while he lies dead and stiff. I want it all. It's mine. I own it. I'm taking it back. Swallow all the juices inside. Ah, oh, beautiful. I thought, seeing as you asked, I would read the entire thing. But yeah, that's
all right. First of all, I'm sorry, Mum, especially Dad, because I know that you like watching these.
Is your dad actually going to watch this podcast?
Oh, my dad fucking loves watching our podcast. Now he's gonna no. All right, no, there's no issue with what you said. He's gonna fucking line the fact that I know about a lot of this bullshit because I mentioned so much stuff. And yeah, I'm sorry that you've learned this stuff. I hope that you don't see me as a bad son. You just got to understand, right? I go to secondary school. By the time there, your innocence is lost.
Yeah,
Not your
pretty
virginity.
much.
That's not
Pretty
fun.
much.
I've got cassette tapes to collect, for fuck's sake.
Okay, let's talk about the song. Let's talk about the song itself. It's also starts off with some really sick fucking like tribal drums, which I'm bang into. And it also like the second half I love where it gets really, really up tempo and catchy. Oh, it's really, really. I'm gonna pause this for a second.
I'm not gonna want to talk to my parents anymore.
I'm gonna pause this for a second just so I can fucking laugh for 2 minutes. And there's a really good riff in the second half as well, which is actually really catchy and up tempo. I really enjoy. And and there's a nice little fade out on the end. And I think that it's one of the best fucking songs on the album. It's like super fucking brutal, well energetic, and yeah, that uningest riff might be my favorite riff on the album. It possibly because it is like uningest on steroids. It's a thing of beauty, and that's where
sure.
and it ends. Yeah, no, it ends the entire thing on an extremely strong point. So you had the idea that we should mention our 3 favorite songs. So I will.
Wait. You're getting ahead of yourself.
Okay.
Let's just talk more Bogg Bois. So we said we talk about the music videos, right?
Oh
Actually,
yes.
You know, no, let's not prolong it. Let's choose our 3 favorite songs.
All right.
And let me explain this because this is our first review. Let me explain this. I said let's do a thing which is our 3 favorite songs, because then if we listen to an album that we really hate. Fortunately, we didn't start this when Nightmares of the Decomposed came out by 6 Feet Under, because that would have been fucking torture.
Oh man, having to listen to that 4 times would have been too much.
And so I said, if we ever find an album that we really fucking hate, we're gonna really have to torture ourselves to try and think up of 3 songs that we like, especially if the album fucking sucks. That's why I say I'm at least glad we missed Nightmares of the Decomposed. That's for sure. The album wasn't very good.
No, really? I wouldn't have guessed.
Chris Barnes, give it up, man.
And again, we fucking rip on Chris Barnes one more time.
We fucking rip on Chris Barnes. However, though, I will admit you are a great inspiration to me. What you did in early Cannibal Corpse definitely has influenced my vocal style, which is probably a bad thing because I might end up like you. Ha! I just ripped into you again, you dickhead. Anyway, you beat up my favorite singer, vocalist. Anyways, I've lost track now.
The 3 favorite songs.
You fucking sucker punched him. The 3 favorite songs. So yeah, if we really hate an album, we have to really try and think of 3 favorite songs. And in this case, it was probably difficult because the whole album's pretty fucking decent. So it's probably hard to pick 3 favorite songs.
Yeah, sure.
But I have mine.
What are your 3 favorite tracks in order?
Is it just? All right, am I going to say one, then you say one, or do I just say all of them?
All right, yeah, we'll start at the bottom, move up, and we'll do 3rd favorite, 2nd favorite, 1st favorite. Yeah, we'll do it like that.
Okay. All right, I'd say I didn't write it down, by the way, because I'm fucking retarded. So now I have to try and remember these songs. My 3rd favorite on my list, I guess, would probably be Dead as Shit. Dead as Shit's probably my 3rd favorite on this album. Fair. When I first saw it, I thought it was like, I thought it was all right. I was more interested in the music video. We'll talk about music videos in a minute.
It is very funny.
It's fucking hilarious.
It is good.
So like, I mean, once I listened to it more, that fucking riff just like infectious, and I was like, jin. Just like my fucking brain all the time was replaying that riff. And then it's like, oh man, I get fucked by riffs a lot because it's walking around going like this all the time and fucking like mouthing a riff isn't a good look when you're like sat down in a chair.
Man, fuck all the people who say that isn't a good look.
But you know what? I'm fucking brutal, man. And
too right.
And never said true words aside from what I said before this, and we had to pause. I'm gonna make you laugh again. But yeah, no, this track very enjoyable. Like I say, the riff totally infectious. I love the fucking pinch harmonic or natural harmonic, whatever you're doing, Cameron. Dude, Cameron, I fucking love you, buddy. I mean, I haven't talked to you as with other bands. I mean, you guys probably get a lot of messages and shit on Instagram, so that's fair enough. And yeah, you guys, you make some fucking good riffs. That's for sure.
100%.
This is one of them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The fucking fair shout. I'm gonna have to say my third favorite is it is Gourd in the Chest. I love Gourd in the Chest. I love Gourd in the Chest. Gourd in the Chest has so many good fucking bits and pieces. I love the way the skank beat comes in, the gore grindy skank beat. Love the sludginess, that final fucking mosh riff. It fucking does it for me. It's just like I'm just constantly satisfied by everything that happens in this song. It's just like, yeah, man, that's fucking cool. Like the one that I was debating being in third was actually the title track, because that has grown on me massively. So maybe with a few more listens, I think it probably will overtake it. But for now, it is Gourd in the Chest. It's a banger. What is your second favorite track? Tell me.
My second favorite track is also Gourd in the Chest.
Yeah.
You'll probably fucking like see a trend now that my two favorites have the. I'm not gonna spoil it. Anyways, but fucking Gourd in the Chest, man. Just that intro riff alone, I can't like. It's the one that probably sticks in my head. I know I said Dead as Shit stuck in my head, but when Gourd in the Chest came out, that was like just. It
is fucking catchy, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
And then boom, boom. Oh man, it's just like immediately your attention is grabbed. I click my fingers really shit. Let me redeem myself. There we go. Immediately catches your attention, and then afterwards, as we talked about, that fucking riff where it's like and it's just
so good
in the background. It's just so much fun. You can tell that in this song they were just having fun and writing some fucking riffs. Once again, Cameron, sick riffs, man. I don't know if Said, their bassist, writes many riffs. If you did write riffs on this song, fucking big up to you as well. Said's a cool guy. Said's fucking funny.
Yeah, no, I do love.
They're all cool. They're all funny.
They are all fucking right homies.
They're all assisted by some gnarly BC Rich guitars. They are BC Rich artists as well. So I think they've got like some. They posted recently, like saying feast your eyes upon some 80s BC Rich guitar porn, and like in the 80s BC Rich guitars, they had like they're all shaved. Like I showed you, I said. For the thing that we may be doing, may not happen anymore, but we will see. You got a BC Rich for that, didn't I? And you're like, yeah, those things are beefcake. So imagine those type of shapes, but like with yellows, like really obnoxiously bright yellows, pastel blues, and reds. And it's like so funny to see this fucking gnarly ass guitar in such cute colors.
I'm all about it though. It's like
and one of the videos said uses a yellow bass. Personally, I think yellow is one of my least favorite colors, but it suits the band being funny.
Yeah, because it is a really garish, tacky color, isn't it? And that's a big part of that whole aesthetic for sure.
I guess it works in that, but otherwise, if you like wear yellow and think to yourself, yeah, it's a good color. Nah. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there, Chief. I'm gonna have to disagree. Oh wait,
yeah, you're literally wearing yellow. You played yourself.
But you know what? It's the Sanguisugabogg merch, and I did just say it suits them for being funny.
Absolutely.
And I'm wearing this because it's funny.
It's one of the funniest bits of metal merch I've ever seen in my whole life. So I would completely back that. My second favourite song on the album is, I mean, yeah, no, it's Felching Filth. It's just so fucking sick. That riff for me, I mean, it's my favourite riff on the whole album. That's basically why that's here. It's just so fucking chunky and gnarly and sludgy and nice. Just single-handedly just puts that there. Like I could, like that's the thing. I like to, when I place my track choices, I like to think about it in a way that where I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm just like going with my heart. And Felching Filth is my second favorite, just for that riff. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. I've got nothing more to say on it because we went in on Felching Filth. What is your favourite song on Tortured Whole? I know what it is.
Fucking hate me for, yeah, of course you know what it is. You're gonna hate me for this, and maybe a few other people will hate me for this. I'm probably biased because I heard this was the first single and I probably heard it the most, and also it has that hot hunk called Roger Peugeot inside of it.
Yes. The mortician Chad himself.
All right, the mortician guitar player. You say Chad, everyone's gonna think it's Will Rama, but no, it's the guitar player mortician. Roger Peugeot's a cool guy, cool cat, and I lost my words.
Why do you like Menstrual Envy so much?
Oh yeah, I was talking about Menstrual Envy, wasn't it? Menstrual Envy. I was yeah, like I said, probably biased because it's the one that I remember the most. But like I remember it was such a change in style, and I thought it was I personally prefer this slammy style that they're going for in this song than what they did on Pornographic Seizures. And I thought it was such a good change. Maybe not as unique, and probably because I prefer slam over like more cavernous stuff. Because I'm not a big Doom fan, and cavernous stuff can get a bit slow at sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
But like this one was just like so different, and it immediately comes in with just that.
I do fucking love the vocals on that track.
And it ends on that fucking inhale guttural thing. Yeah, you could you do that properly. I had to inhale it because otherwise it would be loud enough.
It's almost like I'm a vocalist. It's weird that.
I'm a vocalist as well, but I don't do it well.
You do play a guitar at the same time, and you are 15. To be fair, it's you're very good. You're very good considering you haven't been doing it for long.
I'm allowed to learn. I just don't want to embarrass myself, even though I've already embarrassed myself. Anyway, what was I saying?
Menstrual Envy.
Menstrual Envy. I mean, the fucking name was funny to me. And then this is the only song where I actually knew the fucking premise of it. Guy like creates some like bug or like thing which I believe he attaches to his cock. And I think this is rather cute. I wouldn't do it personally. Or maybe I'm starting to talk a bit out my ass. Maybe I'm starting to talk a bit out my ass. Had some silly juice. And what was I saying? Yeah. The fucking fuck you. The fucking bug like strips his stomach, which isn't too bad because think about it, right? You drink Coca-Cola strips your stomach. Have you seen how good?
Yeah, no, it like legitimately is terrible for your internal organs.
Yeah, Coca-Cola strips your fucking insides.
Yeah.
So it strips his stomach, and then afterwards he can have a menstrual cycle at the same time as his girlfriend, which is fair enough, man.
It's romantic.
And yeah, like I say, it's quite cute, quite romantic. I wouldn't do it personally, but you never know. I might fall in the hard times and want to have a menstrual cycle. I mean, it would give me an excuse to get pissed off. You
can blame it on PMS.
Yeah. And yeah, just every month I lose a bit of my stomach lining. It comes back.
To be fair, menstruation is fucking metal as fuck. Menstruation is brutal. It really is.
Yeah, fucking getting rid of like a new life form, basically. I mean, there's no child in there, but it's an egg.
The inner wall of an internal organ is fucking exposing itself out of an orifice. That's brutal as fuck. I will not be told otherwise.
Fucking coming is brutal as fuck, right? You're basically killing a bunch of kids.
Like a whole civilization's worth, like millions upon millions. Like there's a fucking brilliant Bill Hicks bit where he says like millions have died on my chest. I am the creator, the destroyer of worlds. It's fantastic.
On his chest. What a weird man.
Well, no, but Bill Hicks was a fucking genius, but we won't get into that.
But I'm saying on his chest.
On his chest. Oh yeah, no, you should probably prepare a bit better. But anyway,
yeah, but otherwise, I still got to fucking talk about this song because I've barely made my fucking way through it.
All right, okay, go on.
Full of just nasty ass riffs.
Yeah.
I was about to talk about the music video actually, but I said we'll talk about that in a minute. I've got loads to say about Mr. MV because I've watched it so many fucking times.
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, it's got Big Boy Roger Pajord on there. Fucking big up. I mean, the bass tone just sounds chunky, and in that fucking pinch harmonic riff, that's how chunky it is. It started making me morbidly obese. That's how I'm gonna be after fucking Easter. Anyway, that fucking drum fucking part in that pinched harmonic riff where it's like boom boom it's so fucking good.
Yeah,
so good with that
crushing, isn't
snare. I remember I put that song on in the car. In the car, I'm always trying to put on brutal shit.
Standard.
And sometimes I'll put on something that people that my mum and my brother may enjoy. And my mum wasn't in at this point, but my brother was, and I put the song and it was like, "Oh, please tell me this is like one of those like 20-second long songs you're into." I said, "Nope, this one's like 3 minutes long." He's like, "Oh," and my brother's actually a drummer. All right, I dabble on drums. I'd like to be a drummer. I'd fucking love to be a drummer, but he's an actual drummer. He's very versatile in music. He fucking listens to everything, which is rubbed off onto me now. I'm becoming a music lover now as well. And
yeah, absolutely.
I remember I put this song on, and he heard that snare, and he was like, "Oh, that snare tone's awful. It's fucking awful. Just so bad. So it like rings out forever." And he was like, "What? When does this end? Seriously, it's fucking painful to hear." Because like I'm sure when I hear a bad guitar tone, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, that's awful. Yeah. I can't listen to this.
Absolutely, it does happen.
Some of the old guitar tones I used to have when I'm like looking back at old videos of me playing guitar, I'm like, bleh, I thought that sounded good. And
we live and we learn.
And to me, fucking like that pingy ass snare, because I said it at the beginning of this episode, I always make the joke, you like pingy snares and brutal death metal, here it is. That's just because I love pingy snares and brutal death metal. I think they sound so fucking sick. And once you realize that it's there and you're listening to a whole album, you're like, that's all that you can hear. It's just fucking hilarious.
To be fair, I feel as though I needed a bit of time for my ear to adjust to it. Like I remember when I first heard Menstrual
I thought it was excellent immediately. I didn't really need to adjust it.
It took me a bit.
Sounds sick.
It did take me a bit. I don't mind a pingy snare, but it was the ring on it. I was like, mate,
reverb, yeah.
Yeah, the
takes forever to shut up.
Yeah, no, it's literally about 2.5 seconds. Yeah, I
believe that's what's called a biscuit tin snare.
Yeah, or a St. Angus snare.
Yeah. See, the snare, the St. Angus snare. Sorry, the St. Angus snare is objectively bad, but that's because it's used in the wrong music.
Yeah,
Put that St. Angus snare. Apparently, so though, like you can remove the springs on the bottom of the snare, technically removing the snare part of your snare, and then just fucking tune that shit up, and you get just that fucking nasty ass reverb biscuit tin snare, as they call it. And it's just fucking like, I love the snare tone on this album, and in Menstrual Envy it shines so well.
The
drum work is excellent.
Like how metallic it sounds really fits with like more tribal sounding drumming. Like it sounds really good on on fucking Felching Filth at the beginning in particular, where he's doing all of the sort of really tribal fills. Like it just fits perfectly. I mean, I also naturally I think of Slipknot with the keg, sort of a similar kind of a thing. I love it when it's used properly. I think it sounds fucking great because it sounds raw and primal. And to me, like that's kind of the whole fucking point of this style of music in general, is that it's meant to be like raw and fucking unpolished and primal. Like, yeah, it took me a bit of getting used to, not because of the pinginess, but because of the ring. But like you said, the thing that caught me about it, like you said, was the ghost notes. Because of how much it rings out, you can really catch them. Like it actually gives it a really cool dynamic once you fucking settle into it. But yeah, it's a fucking. I like it a lot. I think it really works.
Yeah, but that's my favorite track. Call me a wrong, but yes, Menstrual Envy is my favorite track.
No, it is good. It is good. It's just not my favorite.
Like I say, I may be biased because it's the first track, and as well, it's got Roger Peugeot on it, and I do really enjoy Mortician. I must admit.
We all love a bit of Mortician round these parts. We all
George, you're a wrong man for not enjoying Mortician just because their bass tone is objectively awful. You fucking cunt.
Their bass tone is almost as bad as your voice sounded when you were up because of mic there.
You understood what I said? I thought I was clipping farting.
Get out of the fucking mic, Jesus! Our audience are about to fucking have their ears bleeding.
Yeah, I've already said Menstrual Envy is my favorite song, and now I'm gonna get belted for fucking clipping the mic as much as possible.
Right, moving on. My favorite
song.
My favorite song on this album, and my favorite Sanguisugabogg song by extension, is Dead as Shit. I was well into this. This was more immediate for me because, this is the second single, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken, was it the second or was it the third?
How many singles were there?
I know they put out Menstrual Envy, Gourd in the Chest, and Dead as Shit. I know for a fact they put out those three. I just don't know what.
Yeah, I know they put out 3, but I keep thinking they put out 4. I think Dead as Shit.
There might have been a 4th, but I think this was the second one, and I was just reassured by this because it was. Like the first one was more slammy, and it kind of lost what I really liked about the thing a little bit.
Yeah. Dead as Shit was the second one. Dick Fillet was the third one. That's it. And Gordon Chess was last. I forgot Dick Fillet was a single. You know.
Yeah, so did I actually. But yeah, this coming out of the second. This coming out as the second single really like eased my worries about like they're keeping the slow sludgy element. And just immediately, as soon as those vocals come in, I'm like, oh, wait, this is actually catchy as fuck. And then as I've listened to it more and more, it's just, I can't fucking deny it, man. It's one of those riffs. It's one of those songs that just, like I said, I find myself physically incapable of not moving my head to that song. I legitimately can't fucking do it, and I've tried. I just love it. They're so good at it as well. The fucking pinch riff along with that fucking halftime chunk at the beginning, and then it going into the more like speedy element, like in the mid section where you just get everything this band does well. I think in one song, and it just fucking works perfectly. I fucking love this track. I think it is the crown on their jewels, the jewel on their crown thus far. And no, that was not a euphemism. Dead as shit. It's well fucking. It's good as shit. I love it. But those are my 3 favorite songs. Those are your 3 favorite songs. Let's talk about the videos. I've got to admit, I think there's one I haven't watched. I'm not sure I've seen the Dick Fillet video. Is there a Dick Fillet video?
Dick Fillet doesn't have a video.
Okay, is it Gourd in the Chest that has a video then?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Gourd in the Chest.
Right, I seriously told you to check that one. But either way, let's do it in order, right? Menstrual Envy comes out. There's new video. I said I predicted before the video. I didn't actually predict. I said I predicted. I said that to you, but I was being a lying twat. Because from following them on Instagram, I'm really far away from the microphone right now. Not going to get too close though. But following their Instagram, I saw these pictures of them just saying they're in a film shoot, and they've got just these fucking huge dicks for some reason. And I said, I bet that there's a lot of dicks and a lot of cum in the next video.
Yeah.
And you saw it and you messaged me and you were like, you were right. There's a lot of dicks. I was like, fucking
Yes.
excellent. So I went to watch it, but I was watching it on one of my YouTube accounts where um, I have my actual real age on there. So obviously, with it being dicks and a bunch of gore, I was age restricted, and I was like, I have an account that doesn't have that. So I went on there, watched it, and I just fucking hit a laugh, man.
Mate.
So like, let's break this one down. So also we get a bit of a history lesson in Sanguisugabogg. So basically they've now signed to Century Media Records, which is a big fucking thing because Century Media is owned by Sony, and Sony is one of the big, like I think the big three major record labels. I learned
it's like
business classes.
It's like Universal, Sony,
Universal, Sony, and there's one more.
Is it
I should
BMG?
really know this.
Is it
No,
BMG?
no.
I'm not.
I don't think it is.
Yeah. But the point is, they're a subsidiary of fucking Sony, which is
they signed Century Media, and the intro of the music video is some guy going, "All right, today's a big day, guys. You're signing to Century Media Record," and then after he's like, "It's all right, it's okay," and he pats Seth on the shoulder. I'm probably just gonna go throughout this whole music video describing it to you. Please go watch it. My descriptions will probably not do it justice. I'm on silly juice, and and he's like, it's all right, guys. I brought shrooms, and so they all get excited, and then that fucking comes in, and so they walk in, and what the fuck? I just saw you go.
Yeah, because I was trying to open my fucking can.
You just lipsed your. That was so weird.
I couldn't get my finger under the ring.
Simulating head.
Oh, fuck off. I was opening my fucking thing. Anyway.
Honestly, your whole mouth was around your can. Anyway, then offers they come in, and the Century Media contractor gives them a piece of paper, and they're like, no. Obviously, they're not talking because the music's playing right now, and they give him one, and there's just this huge piece on the back that says "Dong Clause."
Dong Clause.
And what the Dong Clause is when they sign, they must receive, I believe it's 18-inch plus dicks.
Yes.
Or was it 12-inch plus? It's one or the other. 12-inch plus, and so the contractor's like, and obviously signs it, and they do like such a fucking sick thing.
When they sign, they all go like. Yeah, I love that.
That's like something that I wish I could have, because like during the like 80s and 90s, there was like Beavis and Butthead, so there were these metalheads who were like really into it, and like they'd always be like, yeah, bro, yeah, dude. At least this how the TV fucking like films reenacted. I don't know if it's true because obviously I didn't exist during that time, but that sort of stuff just it makes me feel so fucking good, because obviously I'm really into this fucking music right now. In my life that may change, and then offers I've wasted all my money buying this stuff, but you know,
or you might be 28 years old and still bang into it. Who knows? I mean, I'm still I'm proud of how I've decided to waste my life.
Yeah, but you said you dissipated off of like death metal.
In my early 20s, I got well out of metal in general for a bit, and then I came way the fuck back round to it. So yeah, but it happens.
Yeah, and that like warmed the brazier in my heart, and I was glad to know that my friend of who I showed Sanguisugabogg to, George, he also thought that fucking thing was cool. So at least that means that now like I have someone to fucking shit with. I don't know if you actually do it, but I would definitely do that shit where it's like, yeah.
No, it's a camaraderie.
Anyway, way too much in that scene. It's so simple. So they all of a sudden arrive in these showers, and naturally it's women doing this procedure of giving them these huge cocks. Nice time for my family to walk in right now. Unless if that isn't you. That's them, they've got a key.
Hey!
I'm dead as shit
mate,
right now.
Mate, he nearly put us drill straight through your brain. That would have been a way to go.
Why have you put a fucking Like, you know, I could just not talk enough as you wouldn't be in this.
Easter.
Happy Easter. I
Happy
can't read it
Easter.
properly. I'll tell you
Happy
the date.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
There we go.
Yes.
There
we go. Happy,
we
happy
don't edit our videos, so you're gonna have to hear all of that.
Yeah.
So naturally, it's got to be women that do this procedure because they are always like, oh yeah, what? See, I told you that's an excellent time for them to walk in because now they're all fucking intrigued. I've already explained this to Mum. Go ask her. Procedure. Yeah. If you sit here and listen and don't talk, you can. Yeah. All right. Naturally, it's women that wind up doing this fucking procedure because they're all sadistic, and so that they're sat there and they're fully awake. They've got like masks on to be sedated, but apparently so they're not. And you just obviously it's not full on, but like you see them just pulling shit out. And it's like an obvious.
I love the look on his
Also,
face as they're
forgot,
doing that.
I forgot. Yeah, and they're like,
Yeah.
and the women are fucking really into it. They're like, yes, we've got this fucking dude's testicles, and we're just ripping it all apart and really fucking making it. And it's also a fun thing. They teamed up with Trauma. I've never watched a Trauma video.
Oh,
but,
mate! So this is
like,
at one point
Yeah, I'll
when
let you
the
explain since you're the big horror guy.
when this is over, I'm coming. Like we're gonna watch some Trauma. So Trauma are a very legendary trash horror label. Who used to basically make
like seaside.
Yeah,
not B-side horror movies, C-side.
They basically are like the perfect match for this band because they've always made like really low budget, like over the top, gory but really funny, like very like knowingly funny sort of movies, and I'm a big fan of Troma. They've got some really fun stuff in their catalogue.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'll make sure not to watch any of their movies. I'll wait till this lockdown.
Yeah, no, we'll watch the Toxic Avenger because that's the most famous one, and I'll also get you to watch Poultrygeist because that's fucking hysterical. But yeah, carrying on, they teamed up with Troma for the music video, and it's like it's got all of their hallmarks through and through.
Teamed up for Troma for 2. You haven't watched Gordon the Chest, but
yes.
And then off was like that shit happens. And then periodically we turn around to the band actually playing the song. And one part that fucking puts me and my friend on the floor each time we think about it is fucking Devin. All of a sudden he's got a banana as the mic. And he just goes, fuck. And he just splits that banana. Fuck it. Oh no, my mic's not going to stay there now. I've knocked it so hard.
That was perfect. Right. That was perfect.
Like, takes the banana. And he's like, yeah, wait, no, this isn't my microphone. And takes it and splits it right as like he says like a plosive.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a plosive is, that's like a P sound or B sound because it goes puh, blah. And that's rather entertaining when that happened. And then they're in a club, and actually, I'm not gonna get up and do it because but like, so they're all in their jeans and shit. And there's just like these huge fucking bulges on the right side of their legs, and they're like rubbing it and looking at the women like, which is totally what I do because that's fucking hilarious. If I had like an 18-inch plus, and like fucking, what if a friend comes over and he's doing like the signing, like,
yeah, dude,
shit like that, and
radical.
All of a sudden, I believe it's said. All of a sudden his dick starts growing and it's getting erect, and it has eyes and it has a mouth and it just fucking eats this guy and just like taking all of his like stomach out, and Sed isn't in control of this, so Sed's like,
and the friend like visibly goes, what the fuck?
Yeah. And then there's people in the background running away, and then they're like walking around possessed by, like, I'm pretty sure their legs must be being controlled right now by the dicks, because the dicks are making them walk where they want, but their top half's still moving. Like, what the fuck? For some reason none of them's like trying to knock out their cocks.
Yeah, you think they fucking give it a good old fashioned down punch? Like, no, stay in your lane.
bad penis. Like I say, it would be like that scene in The In-Betweeners, wouldn't it?
Oh,
If you've ever
yeah.
seen The In-Betweeners.
Yeah.
Every time I watch, but the opposite. It's working too much right now. So and then after they go around and they kill people. And another part that puts me on the floor all the time is I believe it's Sed's cock. Just has sunglasses and it's like looking like real fucking dapper. Just staring into the
Oh,
camera, like, real
that's
fucking
my
happy
favourite
hoes.
part. It's weird. It's just fucking jokes.
that
He's
puts
got
me on
these
my
like,
arse.
just a
Puts me on my
gigantic
arse
cock with a
every
face with
single time.
aviators on. It's fucking hysterical. Like, there's nothing about that isn't funny.
And then the women, the two women that did the procedure come along and they're like, "Whoa, what's going on?" And they get this fucking can of what was it? What was it called? I believe it's anti-dong spray.
Of course.
Anti-dong spray. And so they spray it on, and then dick falls off. So now the members of the band are dickless, and they just start kicking the shit out of these dicks. But one of them goes up the stairs and manages to run away, and falls out the window and falls into toxic waste. And then you see like the shadow of it being like a dick head, and like just being a fucking huge buff body.
Which is that's a reference to the Toxic
Milton
Avenger,
says
which is the Troma movie, because
Yeah,
that's how
like,
Toxie is
the
formed. He
Troma,
falls
the Troma
into
movies.
yeah.
Yeah, the Troma of the movies really come in Gordon the Chess once we get to it. We're talking to it. So next we'll do Dead as Shit, which I'll let you explain because I've explained so much. But out of this, I've probably said the one funniest thing I've ever said from this music, just from seeing this music video. At least I was told by my very funny friend that I've said the funniest thing from this. I don't know if you saw my Instagram post, but I fucking took that image of them behind the scenes where it's both Devin and Cameron looking at their dicks like that, but it's a behind the scenes take.
Yeah.
You know which picture I'm on about, right?
Yeah, I've seen it on their
And
Instagram.
so- Yeah, and I took that, put it as the background, and I wrote, "It ain't gay, homie." At Sanguisugabogg never mentioned the genders of the dicks, and apparently so that's the funniest thing I've ever said. Because it's like,
I mean,
it's true, man. These dicks are now life forms. Just because they're dicks doesn't mean they're dudes.
Yeah, they're dicks that might have vaginas for all we know. Like, don't
Yeah.
assume the dick's gender. That's
Don't
very,
assume
very
the dick's
backwards
gender.
of
That's
you.
why I said it ain't gay, homie. And I did at Sanguisugabogg, but they didn't repost it, so they didn't find it funny.
Oh, bless them. Yeah, you'll have to just keep spamming them. Right, but yeah, they all.
I've spammed them a lot. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, we are both fanboys of this band, in case you can't already tell. But
yeah,
moving on to
the prop dicks so much.
I think you should actually also explain Dead as Shit, because I've only seen it once and I can't remember it that well.
Mate, I'm gonna have to explain all the music for you.
You're going to have to explain all of them.
This is my time to shine. It's probably the worst time for me to design because, like I said, I want silly juice. I'm starting to lose it a bit.
Yeah, you've had a bit of an Easter drinky, but that's okay. It just gets you more loosey goosey.
Also, I've eaten a lot of chocolate today as well.
Your stomach is gonna love you.
Oh yeah, it is. No, I know how to control myself. It's not the stomach. The chocolate really fucks up the teeth. But
yeah.
Either way, I'm gonna explain all three of these. Menstrual Envy. I love the song and love the video.
That's maybe my favorite music video of the last few years is Menstrual Envy. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I'd say Menstrual Envy for being so fucking funny, and Forced Gender for being like apparently so the most gory music video to have come out. And apparently so there's a what's that band's name? The one with the albums Anomalies with the song Dying Will Be the Death of Me. I forgot the band's name.
I can't think of who that.
Is something Sefer. Anyway, I'll explain it whilst I'll explain it whilst I'm looking up. So what song are we on?
We're on Dead as Shit.
The name of it? Dead as Shit. Right. So Sanguisugabogg like to get high.
They do.
They do like their drugs.
They do.
And the premise of this one is that there's lots of people smoking weed, and then all of a sudden, cephalic carnage. by the way. That's
Cephalic
the
Carnage.
band I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Apparently, so Cephalic Carnage have a pretty gory music video, but I don't know which song it is for. And I just
That
seen it.
involves a worm inserting itself into someone's penis. I've seen that.
Yeah, I remember I watched an interview with Travis Ryan, and obviously they got into the subject of the forced gender video. And then the guy that was interviewing him, it's I don't remember, Capital Chaos TV. I don't know if you've ever watched their stuff.
I think I might
The
have
guy that
done,
was
yeah.
interviewing them, yeah, they were both hammered, and the guy was like me, barely able to get his fucking words out, and worse than what I'm like right now. What was I saying? Yeah. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, I aired the Cephalic Carnage video on Capital Chaos TV," and Travis was like, "Yeah, but that's pretty to me. That was pretty. Whereas Forced Gender, we were actually trying to do something that's just way out there for a music video." But I don't know which song it's for, so I can't fucking see it. Anywho,
I'll find it for you at some point. I'll send it to you.
Cheers. Yeah, that is shit. So lots of people are smoking weed around the world. There's no denying that. Probably the most like easily available legal drug here in England, but in some places it's not illegal. And I mean, where around the parts where we live, the stench of it is everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
What? There it is.
Yeah, no. I up where I live, like there's a fucking house, right, where they are growing it. They must be, because every single time I walk past that house, it's just like, yeah, that absolutely fucking reeks.
I had a friend who, like, in one of his old houses, his mum's room was like right next to where they were growing it, and so her closet was like there.
Yeah.
Whenever she'd open it, her clothes would smell of weed because it was going through the wall. How strong it was, and her clothes would always just smell of weed. So they were like, "We need to move, otherwise we're gonna get, like, one of us is gonna get searched, and they're gonna think it's us and not."
Yeah, the police dogs are gonna get on them. Yeah, they're gonna get fucking canined.
Yeah. Yeah, and so many people are smoking weed, and then you see some thrashers. They're like, "Oh, we've only got like a stick of a weed left. And you can't smoke the stick of it or the stem."
Yeah, right.
Then afterwards, you got another person. They're like, "We've got no more weed." Someone else grabs a bong, no more weed, and it comes to a point where there is only apparently one more weed left in the entire world.
One more weed. There is only one weed.
More weed, and so because of this, all the world leaders and such come over, and they fucking start bombing everyone, fighting, because the last weed has been located to be in Canada. So they're fighting over Canada because all the world leaders want this last weed. And they get to the thrasher's house, and they're like, "There's a stem left." And so there's like a whole fucking new World War III caused because there's only one weed left in the world. And so I believe towards the end of it, there's Putin, Kim Jong-un, and I bet, is Boris in there? No, I don't think Boris is in there. And
I can't remember him being in there, but
Boris is too pretentious to want to have the last weed in the world.
But you can't take Boris Johnson seriously as a fucking world leader anyway. They wouldn't even consider him. It's like, oh, what, that blethering idiot. Anyway, yeah, let's not like. Oh, I wonder what my politics are.
Let's not get to English politics.
None of that. We listen to music to escape that shit. Yeah, carry
on. And then I don't think that they use Trump in it. They use some other American world leader, or just some bald guy. But maybe it is Trump. And they've removed his wig-like looking hair.
His shit toupee.
And so, yeah. And so then after it comes to a point where it's those three just like all holding themselves at gunpoint. And then all of a sudden, all three of them are shot. And you're like, who the fuck could have shot them? I'm pretty sure it's just these people who are left alive. Who shot them? You
Bogg
fucking
Bois.
know who it is. Come
Bogg
on, man.
Bois.
Who in the world is gonna get that last weed? The motherfucking Bogg Bois.
Yes.
They're stood over towering. I mean, Devon's just fucking towering because, I mean, Have you seen that dude? That dude is a freak of nature.
He's a tall boy, isn't he?
Huge ass bicep. I don't know if he's tall. He kind of looks built like a manlet to me, but he's got some fucking biceps. He's
Yeah,
fucking
sure.
huge, that's for sure.
Well, he works out.
Built. But yeah. And so then off as they're just towering, looking fucking tough, and they grab the last weed, and there you go. How fitting the Bogg Bois get the last weed. I mean, who else is gonna get that last weed?
They're gonna smoke that all the way down to the roach, and then write the fucking most ignorant riff anyone's ever heard. And it's gonna be glorious.
Yep. Well, for it to fall only on their ears, because I'm pretty sure the rest of the world's eradicated.
Fuck it.
Everyone was fighting for that last week.
We're just gonna play we're just gonna play caveman death metal to an empty void of nothingness. Fuck yeah, that's metal. Yeah. Right, and then give me the fucking breakdown for the gourd in the chest video, because I've not seen this.
All right, the gourd in the chest video is fucking hilarious. So they did say at the end of Menstrual Envy to be continued at the end of that video.
They do, yeah.
The dick becomes the toxic avenger, I guess. And so this is that continuation, and it has one of the I'll just preface this, it has one of the trauma characters. Is it Kabuki Sank, right?
Oh yeah. I'm aware of that. I haven't seen that. I don't think I've seen that movie.
Where's the red suit, and he's got like the Kabuki mask on.
Yes, yeah. I haven't seen that movie, but I know of that character, yeah.
And so I've only watched this one once, so I'm not going to give us details. And anyway, you're probably glad I'm not going to give such a fucking detailed description, because people are probably tired of this.
I'm not tired. I want you to tell me.
And so the premise of this is this fucking, I guess, as you said, toxic Avenger version, but it's a dick. And Kabuki guy, I keep almost saying Bukaki, and that's totally fucking wrong.
That's what happens when you're talking about Sanguisugabogg, mate. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's fine.
Yeah. It's fucking Kabuki guy. I totally forgot his name, the actual name of the character. Obviously, I haven't seen Trauma videos, so give me a break, okay? I only heard his name for the first time when I watched the Thralls of Metal episode on this. Also, Thralls of Metal, fucking thank you so much. You guys subscribed to us. And fucking, like, I died when that happened. I actually died.
Big
so
up,
if you watch this, we finally made the review, and I was gonna say at the beginning of the episode, thank you to Thralls of Metal, but I totally forgot. Not saying that I forgot about you guys, but
yeah, no. We'll get back round to it when we finish all about the video. So give me the thing.
So like so the premise is that these two guys are going to be like doing a big fight. It's like I guess it would be the better version of King Kong versus Godzilla, because you said that movie was trash. You know, I haven't seen
I thought that film sucked. Yeah.
Obviously the dick loses in this one. Oh fuck! That was a huge spoiler. Sorry.
Fuck it. It's all right. It's all right. It's only a music video.
It has so many good like green screen moments, because the band at one point's falling, and it's like the background's moving too slow for it to look like falling.
Oh, I love that shit.
Obviously, it's done entirely as a joke.
Yeah, clearly.
And so like the Bogg Bois and the two women are falling, and they're like. As they're falling, doing some fake ass shit, and it's hilarious. And I'm pretty sure that the dick is played by one of the Bogg Bois, and Kabuki guy is played by Cameron. I believe Kabuki guy is played by Cameron in this film.
Cool.
Film, video, and yeah. So that's like the premise of it. From the one time I watched it, I don't really remember much of that one since I only watched it once. So you don't have to hear my highly detailed analysis and full review of each fucking frame.
No, but you've definitely got me intrigued though, because I do like the other two videos are great. I'll say it again, Menstrual Envy. I think that is my favorite music video of anyone, not just in metal, like in music that I've seen for years. It's just fucking hilarious.
Also, if we're gonna narrow it down to like just metal, sometimes it's not hard to beat, because a lot of metal music videos is we're in a room and playing our instruments. We'll be fucking sure they do it here, but in between there's funny cocks going around and killing people.
Exactly.
And also there's funny man Devin going to a fucking command.
Precisely. It's far more memorable, but I do think that they're the whole thing with the way that they present themselves, this band, of the music videos and the merch and their social media presence and how they present themselves live. Like, it's all I love when a band like sort of take something and run with it in the way that they have taken the whole thing of being like immature and silly. Like, but they've really like made a fucking point of having fun with it. And to me, that's the reason I love particularly Menstrual Envy so much, because it is just like, yeah, we're going to have a video that involves a bunch of giant cocks going around and massacring everybody, and it's going to be the most memorable music video you've seen for years. Like, it's fantastic. I love it.
And we're going to have just like,
Dong.
a part that makes me laugh at the beginning is when he just goes, "It's okay, guys. It's all right. It's all right." And pats him on the shoulder. Because that fucking killed me, right? Because I don't know why that killed me. It's not even that funny. They weren't even that sad or scared. But it's just the way that the guy fucking says it. Oh man,
Yeah, it's a good bit of deadpan delivery. But yeah, I do want to get around to some shout outs before we wrap this thing up, because we've gone in on this fucking record. This was longer than
I thought to myself, yeah, this is probably gonna be like 10 minutes long. We're gonna do like every reviewer does and talk about a few things. But no, we are the bean cells, and we make everything way fucking longer than it has to be.
And we don't edit anything because that takes too long.
And we like you guys hearing the mid conversations. I mean, if it's just us laughing for 2 minutes, we'll let you listen to the laughs. And like in this episode, we'll pause the motherfucking shit out of it. All right,
because I literally had to keel over and laugh for a
like
second.
2 minutes, and I was just sat there. What part of what I said made you laugh so much? Was it this, or was it this, or was it this? And you just went, just fucking all of it, man. I made someone laugh for 2 minutes. See, I am funny. All right, stop bullying me for not being funny. Anyway,
you're not getting bullied within the walls of this podcast.
Existentialism.
But yeah, we've gotten some shouts from some cool people. So as you've already mentioned, the Thralls of Metal, who are a fucking wicked YouTube channel, who do there's two dudes, and they fucking review albums and tracks.
There's more than two.
Is it?
All right. I'll talk about them.
I'll admit I've only seen a couple of videos, but it was the same two dudes in the ones I've seen.
Yeah, I think it was probably Jam and John and Necrotic Nick that you saw, right?
I think so.
Necrotic Nick is the guy that was replying to me in the comment section on their Sanguisugabogg review, because I commented something, and then afterwards I said, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to do a review of this." And he was like, "I hope you guys don't laugh so much as we did when we tried to say Dick Fillet, because they actually edit their videos, and apparently so they took like 5 takes to say the word Dick Fillet." Dick Fillet without laughing, or like as much as they did. And then Jam and John added like saying even writing it makes me laugh. And then afterwards they subscribed to us, probably meaning that they wanted to see this fucking video. Here it is, boys. But you know, Thralls of Metal have been a big inspiration for me on the Bean Cells podcast thing. Even though we're kind of moving away from being a podcast, lots of the stuff that we're doing is fairly visual at this point. But whatever, man. We're allowed to do whatever we want.
No rules.
The YouTube platform's fun. I'm probably gonna start doing collection updates soon because I'm a fuckhead and like showing off and flexing.
Hell yeah. Fucking too right. I want to see you flex that shit. 100%.
Yeah. I might as well spoil it now. I did say I was gonna do like unboxing videos, but I thought instead of doing that, I'll do like a collection update, because after I get to shove more stuff in there, and I don't also have the risk of doxing myself.
Yeah, don't do that.
We don't edit. I don't edit the videos, and nor does Manny, so I can't blur anything out if it does end up showing up on screen. So if in a collection update as well, I can spend a lot more time talking about it than spending like 5 minutes trying to actually get into the fucking box.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to put your fucking address onto the internet. That is never a good move.
And so then afterwards, more people that have shouted us out. When we did the
The Metal Monthly Roundup.
Metal Monthly Roundup. I tagged some of the bands that we talk about. I wish I'd have tagged the hell because I just would have liked to see what they said about us.
Yeah, no.
I'll let you tell this because otherwise I'm going to talk way too fucking much.
Yeah. So we did the Metal Monthly Roundup, and Sean likes to he goes on Instagram, makes a post, makes a story, and tags the bands that we talk about.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but you tagged a fair few of them. One of the ones I think one of the ones who got back to us was Snuffed on Sight, who Sean brought up their 2-track EP, which like I've actually gone back to as a result of him talking about it.
I listen to that like weekly.
Yeah, no, I've listened to it like twice this week. It's so fucking sick. But anyway, they shouted us back. They gave us a message back. They're like, "We're a big fan. That's fucking awesome." And they fucking put us on their story. They put our fucking music on our story.
7K. Because obviously it's one guy. He shouted us out and just wrote Bean Speak.
Bean Speak. I love that.
When he shouted us out, honestly, like I fucking fanboyed out to you. I know I did. I was like, oh no, I'm being so fucking annoying right now. But like, what if the bands that I'm listening to so much just shouted us out? And you're like, no fucking way, because you don't operate the Instagram. I do. So
yeah.
Because it's yeah. And I may have annoyed 7K. I don't know if I have because of how much I then went on like, yeah, you guys are fucking sick. Are you guys working on like a European distro? Because I really want to buy No Clown shit and everything like that. And,
yeah.
So I'm sorry, 7, if I did end up annoying you. But
man, they're worth annoying because like genuinely, I'm such a big fan of what they're doing musically.
So like that,
I fucking love it.
And then afterwards, like I checked my phone, and I saw another Instagram like notification come up, and it had the Instagram logo was in blue, and when it's blue for me, that means there's a message. When it's gray, it means it's just like someone's followed us or something. When it's blue, that means there's a message. And I go and I was like, and I saw the words pupil slicer. I was like, nah. And then you immediately messaged me saying, Pupil Slicer just sent us a fucking message. And
yeah,
I was like,
I lost my fucking shit. They were like,
so
thank you.
I was about to walk down the stairs to leave the house, but instead, I didn't even make it to the first. I put my foot on the first step and then saw that and just like sunk downwards and had to sit down because I was like, yo, these bands are actually fucking like appreciative of what we're doing.
Like honestly, like we had absolutely no aspirations to do anything other than just upload videos of ourselves talking about metal, and like this was never like we're not flexing about being clout chasers or anything like that. It's just we legitimately are passionate fans of the things that we love in this music. So to get bands like legitimately like responding to us fucking like talking about their records, especially on the monthly metal roundup, because that's literally both of us going, this is what we really like at the the Oh, it's well good for bands to be for us both to be able to actually talk to us. Sorry, man. I'm passionate.
You go ahead. I've spoken far too much.
Like for bands to actually like be able to listen to me, just little old me and little old you, just fucking big fans of this stuff. Actually, like hear us talk about. I don't know, man. It's just fucking cool. Like it's because I love the idea of being able to actually talk to a fucking like an artist and like let them know what I like about what they're doing and just like really give it, because this stuff gives me fucking life, man. It really does, especially over the course of the pandemic. It
inspires me to keep going. Like
it really does. It's life force. So yeah, the Pupil Slicer message blew my fucking noggin off. I didn't know what to do with myself.
I wound up replying because obviously I run the Instagram. I do all the posts on the Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's just because like I'm used to doing that anyways, because like I say, I'm an annoying twat.
You're my annoying twat. Shut up, you fucking dickhead. Shut up.
On my personal Instagram, I'm always posting like fucking like Spotify. Like, I mean, you did it before I did, and I saw you doing that. I was like, yeah, I'll do it and post like Spotify.
Yeah, no.
shit.
Sometimes
some
when
reason,
I'm really in the
I'm
zone,
I'm not allowed to do it anymore. For some reason, like I try and do it, and it just I can't do it.
Instagram's a dickhead sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
But, like,
we like social media is actually cool sometimes. Is the takeaway from
Yeah.
this? Like,
And
it's nice.
yeah, so Puber Slicer replied, and I replied to them saying, "Thank you so much. Like, we're glad that you watched it because they said it. They well, I don't know which one of them saw it. Um,
Yeah,
but they said they were. It was fun listening to what people had to say about it. I mean, obviously, it was you talking about them.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been obsessed with that fucking album, man. You know what I mean? It's been
Yeah.
it's
And then
blown my fucking head off.
2 days ago on the Saturday. No.
Friday.
Yeah, yesterday. Friday? No.
Uh,
No.
yeah,
No,
well, yesterday.
I believe it was Saturday because it was on the night I watched Planet Terror, and that was that last night.
Yeah, it
No,
was.
that was last night. That was
was.
last night I watched Planet Terror. Sorry.
Yeah.
So last night, I check, I go on Instagram and I see one story mentions you, and I see the words barbaric brutality. I'm like, I thought this was done. I thought me fucking fanboying out was fucking done. And I check it, and I know Barbaric Brutality definitely watched this because they nabbed the clip of me saying, "And this band is snuffed on sight." And so,
Oh yeah, the bit in the story where you're like,
yeah,
this band is just the most ignorant,
ignorant,
brutal,
fucking
disgusting,
dumb,
yeah,
brutal, disgusting. And so they took the
So
whole clip
good.
of me talking about them, and then afterwards, like I believe it's in the second part of that clip, that he wrote, for context, by the way, Barbaric Brutality is a tape distro owned by one guy, I don't know his name, and 7K from Snuffed on Sight. So what I'm assuming is that 7K on that day showed the other guy that owns Barbaric Brutality that we talked about them, and he posted it on the Barbaric Brutality Instagram. And as well, along with them both working on Barbaric Brutality, they work on something called Draped and Dripped, which is this they do they like these hot takes interviews that they do with bands. So they compile a bunch of people's hot takes and they present them to bands, and they have the band give their opinion on it. And it's kind of like what we're doing, because it's always obviously it's always over Zoom. Even the two, even 7K and the other guy's name, I'm really sorry, man. I don't know your name. Even they're like not in the same room, and it's totally unedited. And at the beginning, they just do a bunch of shouts, talk about bands, and it just ends up being a conversation with the band that they're talking to, because they're doing a like hot takes thing. And
man, I'm going to have to get involved with this, because I like
fun.
the unedited podcast
Yeah,
format, and band interviews are fucking cool. So yeah, no, I'll have to get on this. I am currently uninvolved. I have to change that.
Yeah, I would like to do something with Draped and Dripped as well, but either way,
we'll see. Anything's possible.
So like Barbaric Brutality, he mentioned us in the story with our clip of us talk about them, and also then afterwards I message back, obviously saying thanks for that. I put the fact that they mentioned us onto our story, and the fucking guy messages us back saying, "Of course, cool show you guys got, funny as hell." I was like, nah, that's I thought that was fucking great. And I told him that like Draped and Dripped was like an inspiration to us for being, well, to me especially, because then I was like, do you know what, like being unedited and being over Zoom is like just kind of fucking, I mean, we're not gonna be over Zoom the entire time.
Yeah, no. When pandemics calm down, where we'll be there's like some things where we can actually be in the same room
the
together.
Unedited thing, it made me realize that was kind of fun, because it would made it seem so natural. And he just replied, "That's badass." And then, along with that, because he also tagged Snuffed on Sight in it, because obviously he said in the story, it was like Bean Cells talk about Snuffed on Sight, and then after that would also get people to follow Snuffed on Sight. So reposted that whole clip. In the first part of the clip, you go, mate, like that as you do, all right?
Yeah.
And so that's literally what he put on that slide of the story. Sorry, I'm fucking doing some weird ass shit right now. On that
I didn't
story-
see the repost where he highlighted my my materism.
Stuff on site reposted it onto his story. And then off of the next slide, it's my description. And like I said, Barbaric Brutality said that I have so far done the best description of Snuff on Sight. And Snuff on Sight, or Seven, sorry, because it's only one guy. And that's his real name for the record. His actual name's Seven. And
Sick.
so he like put all the words that I used with it being like ignorant, fucking dumb, brutal, disgusting, whatever I said, and he put that in order. And I just messaged him saying, "Glad you like the description." But yeah, no, like this has been very overdrawn. But yeah, thanks to the guys who like I'm like the person who finds these people, not finds them, but I was the one who found Frauds of Metal and Barbaric Brutality and stuff like that. Then after I told you to go watch them, I just totally realized I went over one thing on Frauds of Metal. The album ranking, I totally ripped that from Frauds of Metal. I saw them do like, because in the album rankings, there's usually 4 of them. And they just choose one band and they rank the whole fucking thing. And I was like, you know what, that'd be a really fun premise. So I totally ripped that from you guys.
Nah, mate, we're like it's as long as you admit it's not ripping off. It's paying
I'm admitting
homage.
all of my inspirations right now, and also a fun one that you didn't see because I didn't like at them or anything. This wasn't a thing of us exposing them and them being thankful of it. But you remember Mosiah D, the one that I sent you who goes bolt thrower.
Oh yeah,
right?
Bolt thrower.
So I followed her with the Bean Sales account, and she messaged us like literally a few seconds after me following, saying, "Ah, this page is great." And I went, "Are we?" And I said, and she went, "Yeah, for sure." So she thinks that we're funny people.
Sweet. I'm into that sound. Like, to be fair, that video, the bolt thrower one, it was well funny. It's like, well, listen to bolt thrower when you're having a massive shit.
Taking a fat shit. Yeah. She's also British, so we got some from our country. Understanding our humor. In it.
Yeah, no, thank someone gets the sarcasm.
Like, quintessential
fucking English, in it? Yeah, bro. Oh, shut up, you fucking
so
dickhead.
big up
fucking
Mosiah D.
Yeah.
So that was this episode has now been made longer, and people are gonna be like, "Why the fuck is an album review like 2 hours long?"
This is like 4 times as long as the fucking album.
You know what? It is now.
Okay.
But you should like write in the description, and if you can be bothered, do timestamps, man.
Yeah, that's a good shout. Actually, I definitely will.
But that means you have to watch the whole video through and try and find each part and then timestamp it.
Yeah, no, I will, because this has been fucking long, but oh my god, I've had a fucking blast. Do we want to?
And we've jammed a lot of shit into it being an album review.
Exactly. This is not just an album review. This was like an album review with lots of little bells and whistles. So fuck it, mate.
And a big thank you to some of fucking sick ass rad people on this world.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not gonna give a numerical rating to Orchard Hole. I'm just gonna say I think it's really good. I think it's really good on a scale of scale of absolutely like no redeeming qualities to the best thing of all time. Right? It's like there.
All right. Let's use a bean scale. All right, let's use a fucking bean scale.
All right, okay.
So you've got rotten beans. All right, you've got rotten beans. It's hard for beans to rot, but they do admit like at some point they will form mold. But obviously that's very rare. You must like leave the can open or something.
Yeah.
Then after that, I guess what's like the next worst kind of beans? It's like where it's all sauce and no beans.
Oh
right?
yeah, what
That's the
like
next worst one,
shitty Lidl's beans?
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right. So I'm gonna have 5 different types of beans. So worst is the moldy bean. Next is like all sauce, no beans.
Yeah.
Third would be, I guess, eating cold beans.
Yeah, cold beans.
Fourth,
Fourth.
what would fourth be?
I'd say like a good bean, like a
No,
but
no, all
like-
right, all right. Fourth would be when you boil, like you're actually cooking them now, but you accidentally boiled them, so all the flavor's gone.
yeah. But then 5.
So we're called fourth boiled beans, and then 5 is the perfect fucking, like, you put it in the pan, you've heated it just enough, not let it boil, and you put it on that fucking jack potato, cheese on
Alright.
top. Oh.
Right, and then 5 is perfect bean.
Right. So yeah, 5 is perfect bean. So we got moldy bean, all sauce, no bean, cold bean, boiled bean, and perfect bean.
I think this album is solidly boiled. I think it's a boiled album. It's
a
a
boiled bean.
yeah, no, this is definitely a boiled album. It's not perfect. To go into something like, I wish the only real fucking criticism I have of it is that I would like for the interludes to be integrated into the music a little bit, because like they're a bit skippable as is. I like them, but sometimes I do just want to skip them, and that's my only criticism.
I actually really enjoy the interludes. Funny
I
enough.
like them,
actually
but
really
like
enjoy the
I would
interludes.
like it if they were integrated into
because
songs.
I'm at peak, like, I want to watch all the fucking shit at you horror movies. So
Yeah,
maybe
no,
that's
don't get me wrong, man.
that
I love the vibe. It's just I would like it more if they were integrated into the songs. And one of the reasons is that the first track on Left Hand Path by Entombed has an amazing synth bit, which then goes into a riff, and it killed every. It's like literally one of the greatest moments in their discography. But more of that next week. But that's my only criticism. So it's not perfect, but it's fucking great.
Right.
So it's
Yeah,
a boiled fucking bean.
I'd agree with you. That my friend, this album is a boiled bean. Absolutely is a boiled bean. I mean, not perfect, obviously, with it being like a brutal death metal type slam thing. I like the fact that it's not brutal all the way through, or not cavernous all the way through. Gives it a nice diversity. But however, sometimes it can, like, towards the end of the album, you're like, especially like you said with a posthumous, whatever it's called. I can't be asked to look at my phone. You know, I can be asked to look at my phone.
Yeah, or that one that you sent me the other day, where it was like literally just the same gurgle for the entire fucking album, like legitimately that. Like,
no, I was talking about on this actual album, but no.
posthumous, posthumous.
Posthumous compersion.
Yeah. That's definitely the weak link of the album. To be honest, I legitimately think the album,
because like I'm getting towards the end of the album, kind of like getting sick of hearing the same thing, and then Posthumous comes out, like, oh, I've kind of lost. Do I really want to listen to Felch and Filth? And Felch and Filth comes on, like, yeah, I want to listen to Felch and Filth.
Definitely, but apart from that,
it's a boiled bean. There's some down moments, but yes, boiled bean.
There's
there we go.
It's a 4 out of fucking 5.
We came up with our own rating system.
On the fucking trot as well. We literally
on the fucking stop making this video even longer than it has to be. I'm
oh,
really sorry,
fuck it, mate. We don't edit shit. We don't. We're metal as fuck. We don't care if you don't like it. We're
going in the raw.
We're going in raw. Fantastic. Right. That has been our fucking beefy fucking review of Tortured Whole by Sanguisugabogg. Next week,
beefy album.
It is fucking beefy. Next week we are having the massive undertaking, because it is, of reviewing the entire fucking Entombed discography. It's going to be hench,
including AD.
Yeah, and we are also including AD, because like, I wouldn't usually, but we are honouring LG.
We are doing this in honor of LG. We are doing this in honor of LG.
So
this week's episode. But as we said, I had school, and like it was like my first full week being back at school, and that was kind of and some fucking shit was happening, and
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't have like the motivation to. I could have totally listened to these albums like over like 3 times, but I didn't have the motivation.
Yeah, no, mate. Doing a discography review is like fucking time consuming. Like listening to like that many records,
And
like
now,
more
yeah,
than once, it's a lot of time.
I have the whole week to do this now anyway, because like we're on holiday now, so you know I have the whole week
absolutely.
to do this. So I will have listened to these albums enough to form an opinion on each one, and be on the lookout for the Intune ranking near a YouTube channel. Sorry, be on the
On a
lookout
YouTube channel, you. No, that was amazing.
YouTube channel. All
Yeah.
right, you know, fuck it. I'm leaving it at near a YouTube channel.
Yeah, absolutely. Spoilers. This is going to be the toughest fucking ranking yet. It's gonna be a close call. But I think we're gonna wrap it up there, ladies and beans and germs. It's been a pleasure. Have a fucking good time. Stay metal, stay brutal, and eat some fucking beans.
Eat some fucking beans.
Eat some beans. Take it easy, everyone. Much love.